And
Yo, what up, man? Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. That's right, bar talk with the super fans. We're chilling out with the crew. We have in today's edition, we got the guy who's walked the walk. He talks the talk, and it's Coach Tosco. We got our new Olympic analyst. She's flying a flab. She's the Golden Gab. We got, as always, faithful producer Crack AV, fearless host Danny Beatondy, and me, of course, your amateur hype man, super fan art. We gonna be talking some sports, Texas style. Go ahead and take it away, Dan.
Yo, welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz, coming to you live, San Antonio, Texas, to your ears. Providing some sports time for your free time. What up, this your host Danny BMD. How's everyone doing, and how did your team do this week? Alright, guys, so we did have a bit of a small break. You know, now we're kind of back. We have a full house today. Today we are completely packed. As it's been a while, so I know that we obviously have a lot of stuff to talk about. We do have. Just want to give a quick, hi from. Here a quick hi from everyone. I'll just go kind of around the table. We'll start with you, Coach Tosco. I haven't seen you for a while, bro. How have you been?
Coach, doing good, guys. Just taking it easy. I have been busy a little bit, but been watching sports. There's a lot of it going on. A lot of different things. You know, not usually the main sports that we, are used to. Some of these, side sports or some of the games that are going on with the Olympics and tournaments, those are all exciting to watch. So there's been a lot of things to watch. So it's been good.
Nice. It's good to have you back on Mr. Tuesday, man.
Thanks, guys.
Evan, we also missed you Tuesday. What up, dog?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, dude, crack it beat.
No, I just took a little time off, but I'm back, ready to spin some tracks. And,
Nice.
Pump my head with some knowledge.
Nice.
See what you guys got.
I was waiting for that whistle for Coach Tosco.
Oh, I thought I played it, but
That's okay.
Play it. I want to hear now.
There you go.
There we go. Nice.
Oh no.
Of course. Gabby Gold, how are you doing today?
Our new analyst.
I'm great, you guys. Earlier, Superfan Art said it was y'all's 50th show tonight.
Yes.
That is super exciting. Congratulations. And I'm honored to be here joining y'all for the 50th.
Hey,
That's the beer drinking show.
Exactly.
We made it.
Yes, it is the 50th one.
Cheers to y'all.
Yeah, so it is
hold on.
A salute.
We've
It's been a while.
It's been a journey. I don't feel like it hasn't been a long time, but we have evolved, not just as a, just like us ourselves, but just like as a show, and just like us as analysts, and me as an actual super fan. Like, since I'm actually researching all this stuff, I actually, I'm actually more knowledgeable and actually get more into not just the team but the sports and stuff. So definitely, guys, thank you guys for following us here at Mezzo Forte Sportz. And we'll go ahead and do another 50. How about that?
Super fan.
Doesn't feel like 50, but we can throw another 50 in there.
That's fine. We had humble beginnings. We had reshoots and recasts and firings, reboots, and we finally got our setup right.
Yeah.
Everything, both digitally and how our scripts and whatnot. But yeah, man, doing fine. Glad to see we got a full house this Thursday evening. Currently watching Austin FC in action with the Seattle Sounders on ESPN2. Seattle's the number one in their league, so maybe we can get that tie.
I like the bar set nice and low. That's hey. If you set it here and you end up here, it's a win for everybody.
I was like,
I love
it. Shout out to all the fans out there watching on whatever platforms. Thank you for your continued support. Give us some likes, subscribes, or even just like heckle. If you want to heckle us, I mean, we can see all your comments on the middle of the screen now, so we'll be ready for that. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, so we don't want to waste no more time. Dan, what are we going to talk about?
All right, guys. So today we do have a bit of a schedule. My bad. I'm looking down my notes. So we do have some Diamond Talk from Superfan Art and Tosco, of course, the ever dynamic duo. Definitely get us caught up with some MLB news, NHL updates. I know that Superfan Art does actually have a couple things I think to talk about post Stanley Cup season. It feels like it was a couple weeks ago when we just crowned that champion. So definitely exciting news there. We do have right after that Gabby Gold with our Olympic update. So it looks like obviously the Olympics do start now.
They
No,
technically
starting now.
started, but we are at the eve of the opening ceremonies.
Yeah,
5
so,
a.m. here with us U.S. folks.
yeah, so something like that. You know how it is. You know, us being so international, worldwide, and stuff like that. There's different.
It's
times.
worldwide.
But yeah, we'll definitely hear some news updates on that. I know there is a lot of events. This weekend is gonna be packed. So obviously we're gonna it's gonna be awesome hearing about the events and stuff like that, because I really don't like kind of keep up with that, and someone that actually knows, that's awesome. So definitely gonna be exciting there. We are gonna finish off with some Gold Cup. We'll also I'll talk actually some U.S. Or Mexico updates on the Olympic team, and now in the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup is actually in the quarterfinals. Talk with Tosco about that a little bit, and how that is kind of shaping up to be. NBA finals are done, but we have reactions. Giannis, CP3, the big names. There's money. Is there not a lot of money? I mean, and obviously we'll talk some. We have a little time. We'll talk some NFL. I know that's we're all excited to bring in some football back, and a lot of stuff is happening. We'll just do some hot routes with that, and also do a take it or leave it, and we'll talk about our mystery player that we'll do that for that. So, super fan art.
Nice. All right.
to me.
I got a few topics on some sports. We'll get through them fairly quick because I know it's just some brief things to touch up on. We'll start with the ice. Yeah, we did have our Stanley Cup Finals. Seems like it was just a week ago. So Tampa Bay Lightning get that hardware. But now the news is about the new kids on the block, the Seattle Kraken. Sick name, by the way.
What?
So they selected a group of players in an expansion draft, which happened yesterday. So what that means is they were able to select one player from all 30 NHL teams except for Vegas, because they were the last expansion team.
Yeah.
And so some of the stipulations being that players have to already be under contract for the following season. Now, the other teams, to protect their own interests, they can protect from their own roster 7 forwards, 3 defensive men, and 1 goalie. Other than that, what's left for scraps, Seattle can maybe pick from there. So the Kraken ultimately drafted 15 forwards, 12 defensive men, and 3 goalies. Their team's pretty much set. I thought what was interesting, they did pass up on a chance to take the Canadiens goalie, Carey Price, who was a pretty big help this postseason with the Canadiens. I mean, they were in the finals for whatnot. Why wouldn't you take a chance on him? I don't know. I guess they had their reasons. So they're pretty much set. Let's see if they have any luck in their inaugural season, like the Golden Knights did, who pretty much went to the postseason in the first year. Any thoughts?
The finals?
On the first year?
Who? The Golden Knights?
Knights?
They made it to the championship. I don't think they won, though. They made it in the first year.
But they did make it to the championship.
Yeah, they did.
That was very impressive.
On their first year, it most certainly was.
Yeah, so it helped because when they did their expansion drafts, they got really good players.
They were smart about it.
So how does that work? Expansion draft. I don't know.
So,
I literally just told you how it works.
Well, yeah, but so so they get like just a free pick like at any player?
Yeah, well,
I was like, what are the restrictions?
Specific rules.
Yeah, I was like,
Arturo had said that there's certain players that are under contract. There's also an age restriction. They have to be have to be over 25.
I didn't know the age. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
there has to be an age restriction. There's contract restrictions, and then once that's taken care of, whoever's left, the team decides, hey, we're gonna protect. What was it? 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and a goalie.
Yeah, 7-3-1.
Yes. 7-3-1. So they go with whatever's left, and then they protect those guys, and they say you can't take these. Then after that, whatever's left,
The
they can
scraps.
pick. It depends. Sometimes. So the thing is that sometimes they're scraps. Sometimes they're not scraps. Sometimes they're.
Well, I don't mean
they're-
the players. The players themselves are scraps. I'm saying like they're what's left over from
Yeah, you're
picking
right.
And
their
do
core
they,
team
do
that they want.
Do they eat
Yeah.
their contracts?
No. So that's the thing. So these guys.
Yeah, I was
When
gonna say, because if you have like,
So-
well, I'm just gonna choose like the most expensive players and just pay them like chaffle or whatever.
Yeah, no. There is some that are gonna be on a specific kind of contract, and they'll get those. But these are not usually. They're not the big contracts. They usually need to re-sign them and stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
So like with the Vegas Golden Knights when they did it in 2017, one of the big guys that they got was Marc-Andre Fleury, who arguably was the best goalie at the time. And the Pittsburgh Penguins let him go. And they also got James Neal from the Predators, 2 very good players. And that kind of, along with the other guys they got, and then they have the draft because they're going to be the first pick or the second pick in the draft.
Like the
that's
real
right,
draft.
like the real
The-
draft.
yesterday was
real
a
draft.
supplemental draft. There'll
Yeah.
be a real draft soon enough.
So it's only one team that they expanded.
It's the
Yes,
only new
it's-
team that they added.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they expanded, but I don't know if they're
How does that
the-
how does that work? Or how do they don't have like 2 and 2? You know what I mean? Like,
no, they go by one. Eventually, they'll add another one.
Okay.
Oh, San Antonio. You got some space for some ice?
dude. Laredo, hey Laredo,
Practice
hey, I'm just
squad.
throwing Laredo.
We don't got the fan base.
There we go.
I don't know
There
about
we
the
go.
fan base.
But
One can
no, I
dream.
think
One
I
can
think
dream.
no, I think with this one there's 32 teams now. I think so. I
Okay,
think.
and that's
Oh,
good.
with this one
Got
is
it.
32. Okay.
I think. Yeah.
All right. I guess
So-
just finishing out with the Kraken. Who do you think was their best guy that they got?
They got I think their best guy. They got Brandon Tanev from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Good
Again,
team.
they gave up a good player. Another one, Jordan Eberle from the Islanders. He's a winger. He scores. He's a scorer. They also got the
Was Island-
goalie. Was that?
I said the Islanders were in the postseason.
Yeah, the Islanders lost to the conference and the conference or whatever it was, the semifinals to Tampa Bay in Game
Yeah.
7. So, and then they also got Chris Drediger from the Florida Panthers, a good, solid up and coming goalie. He had a good season last year. But yeah, I mean, it was cool to watch. It was cool to watch. Yesterday they had Seattle had a big like reveal party. They revealed their jerseys. They revealed some of the players and some of the owners and some of the people, celebrities and athletes that are involved from other sports. It was cool to see. I think with their draft, they went very young. They went for guys with a lot of potential. They didn't want to invest, I guess, a lot of money into the now, save a lot of it for the future. So they got a lot of guys that have potential, a lot of guys that don't really have so much playing experience. I know they got like Will Borgen. He's a defender from Buffalo. I think he's played like 15 games in his career, you know, and so they went with a lot of younger guys, and hopefully maybe it pays out. I mean, you never know. These could be the next Gretzky's and McDavid's and Crosby's and Malkins. You never know. So, but I mean, it was fun to see. It was something different, but we'll see how they're able to make up the team and what they do going forward. But it was fun. It was fun.
What would you have done different?
Yeah, who would you choose? Like one or two players?
Well, they had Carey Price that they could have gone from the Canadians. They
Canadians.
also have Tarasenko that they could have gotten from St. Louis, the Blues. He's one of it was one of those like, whoa, when it came out that St. Louis wasn't going to protect him. He was one of those that, he's one of their main scorers. He's had some injuries on the past, but when they came out and they said that they weren't going to protect him, it was like, whoa, okay. But they ended up going for him. So I think just with those two, there were some other ones, but I think with those two, it kind of showed that they're not going to build for the now. They're going to build for the future. They don't want to get like Carey Price, a little bit older. Tarasenko is a little bit like, these guys are veteran players that have been in the league for a while, have played for a while, but I think they went more younger, with a younger core, with up-and-coming potential players, with high potential players, and most importantly, not too expensive players. So from there, they're going to be able to use a lot of that money for potential going forward. So
trades and such.
Trades,
well, that's cool.
and free agents and the draft. The draft's coming up. So I think it's in a couple of weeks or next week, something like that.
Nice.
The regular draft, the real draft.
All right. I'm sure we'll keep coverage of that once that gets nearer. All right. Well, good luck to those folks in Seattle. I know they still have those Krakens are going to be unleashed soon enough. I know
that's such an awesome name, though.
It is.
Yeah, better than the Washington football team.
Oh yeah.
They'll get a name soon enough.
Supposedly they said that they're gonna do a poll, from the fans or whatever, and then that they didn't. It's just, I don't know. I just hope that they come up with a name pretty soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, we'll see. I mean, we'll see next year. They said they're gonna reveal it in 2022. So.
Yeah, some time to wait on that.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, switching from ice to the diamond. The only big MLB news I got is the Tampa Bay Rays have acquired Nelson Cruz from the Minnesota Twins ahead of the July 30th MLB trade deadline. And so that also included a trade with some minor league pitchers, one going to the Rays and two going to the Twins. So for those of you who don't know, the Dominican-born Nelson Cruz is a designated hitter, sometimes right fielder, whom is well known as a 7-time MLB All-Star and 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner. So currently Tampa is going to be his 6th team that he's going to be on. He had a stint with the Brewers, Rangers, Orioles, Mariners, and just recently the Twins. Tampa is currently 4th in the American League going into this trade. So does that mean this addition pretty much puts them as the clear-cut favorites to win the American League? Thoughts on that, anybody? Coach?
I don't know if it makes them the favorite, but it surely does help. They're 4th in the conference, but they're 2nd in their division. They're a game behind Boston. Honestly, I don't know how Boston's like. I know how they're doing it, but it's a team that you didn't think was going to be in first place going into the All-Star break, and but they're showing out. And Tampa Bay's they're right behind them, and I think Nelson Cruz is a big addition. He's just there for the power. It's all hitting for him.
I was gonna say.
Well,
yeah, that's why.
This season so far, he's had 19 home runs and 50 RBIs. So, he's done work already this season.
Yeah, and that's on the team that's not very good. The Twins they're underachieving. Injuries have played a part. One of their best players, Byron Buxton, he's been hurt twice throughout the year, out for big periods of time. He's another one that might be traded. There's a lot of big names that could be traded by the July 30 deadline. Joey Gallo from the Rangers, another one, could be traded. And Sterling Marte from the Marlins. There's a lot. The guys from the Cubs, Rizzo, Bryant, those are guys that might be on the move. And it's gonna be interesting to see where they end up. Right now, I think all the divisions are, except for probably the Central and in the American League with the White Sox. The White Sox are still the clear-cut favorite. The White Sox have gotten so many injuries, and they're still in first place by 10 games. And so when those players come back, Jesus, they're just going to be deadly. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting second half. I think the Rays, it helps them out a lot. I think that with if Cruz is hitting the way he's hitting continues, I think that they could catch up to the Red Sox and win the division. So these are the moves that happen now that are going to be important in October, November, in the World Series. So
Nice.
we'll see
And
how
like
it
you said,
goes.
we'll see any other big moves in the next 8 days. The deadline's the
yeah.
30th. So we'll keep further coverage on any of the major moves that happen with that. So nice. Good for Tampa Bay. Like they need more championships.
I was gonna say like it feels like we're just talking about Tampa Bay like
Yep.
sports. Like every team in Tampa Bay is good. They just have like a tryout of like stadiums.
It
just, like,
happened with
gold.
Boston. It
Is
happened with Boston.
Tampa Bay is the same team that didn't have people going to their games.
When?
Games
Last year?
for what sport?
Yeah, like fairly recent, within the last 5 years or so.
Oh, yes.
yeah,
You're talking about poor attendance. Yeah. That's the same team.
That's the same team. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, there was even talk of.
we're talking about MLB, right? MLB.
Yeah,
MLB.
baseball.
Yeah, there was even talk about moving the team because they had no attendance. They weren't making money, and again, that's the reason why this team could have by now they could have had at least 2, 3, 4 championships, but since they're a small market team that doesn't make that much money, all their good players they have to let them go. They don't re-sign them and give them those $100 million contracts.
Ouch.
So they let them go, and then they come up with more and more and more. So it's crazy to see because they were in the championship last year. They were in the championship like not that long ago, within the last 5 years, and a lot of these players that they had then are gone. Some of the players they had last year are gone, but they're still replacing. Like Arturo said, they have tons of riches. They have tons of cap. What is it called? They have a lot of assets, and and it just keeps them going.
Silo? It sounds
What's
like
that?
a Scrooge McDuck silo full of like gold and riches and everything.
But they have it, but they don't even use it. So they just go for the younger players, and it's just turned out that all the younger players have turned out. So it's scary to think that they could, if they would keep all their players, imagine how good they would be. So, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes now with this trade. I mean, they're up there. They're going to be one of the favorites, with Nelson Cruz now, and we'll see how it goes in the second half.
Nice. Yep. And like I said, we'll keep up to date on any of the big name trades. Just I guess moving forward from some Diamond talk, we'll go to our Olympic coverage. Like I said, we're already on the eve of the opening ceremonies. I think it starts at 5 p.m. I don't know if that's Eastern or Central time. I doubt any of us are going to be awake for that. But there's been sports going on.
I'm going to be up. I'm going to do it.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Get a Red Bull, Starbucks, Monster, whatever.
You know what?
Stay up.
You know what? Mezzo Forte Sportz chat. I'm going to go live. That's it. I'm going to do it.
Is that a promise?
5 in the morning.
I'm going to go live.
We'll hold you to that.
And then nobody's going to watch it, and then everybody's going to watch it tomorrow at 7 when it goes on NBC.
I know. Everyone's just going to watch the highlights or whatever.
Do it, Danny. Do it. Do it for Mezzo Forte Sportz.
I actually do try to watch like the big stuff, like all the Olympics, World Cup, like specifically the opening ceremonies, just because of like the historical value of it. As whatever may happen, be like, oh, well, where were you when that happened? I don't know. It's just one of those things.
I like doing that too.
So
asleep. I was asleep when when they won the gold. I was asleep.
But yeah, but you can sleep at any time, right? But you can not watch the opening ceremonies live only certain times.
I couldn't think of a better 51st show for Mezzo Forte Sportz than for you to be going live.
That's right.
That'll probably be more like what we did for Christmas and just wish the fans a happy holidays. That'll be Danny like wishing a happy Olympics.
No.
Anyway,
It'll be a little
I
short.
don't know.
It'll be a little short. Little
I don't know.
message.
Maybe I'll just like
a big
do
nugget of episode.
commentary. Maybe
Danny, you'll be the only outlet
when
that's
is
gonna
it?
be
When is
up.
it? It's tomorrow.
It'll be
It's-
our time. It'll be 5:55 a.m. our time.
Do
But
it.
at work, I'm gonna
Do
call in. No, I'm just playing.
There
No,
you go.
if I wouldn't work tomorrow for whatever reason, have Friday off, that would never happen. But I would do it. Start drinking.
5:30 a.m.
Mezzo
Okay.
Forte Sportz. Anyways, all right. let's
Ceremonies aside, go Gabby Gold. Any big headlines going into the ceremonies and looking
Yeah.
forward post ceremonies?
I'm actually going to jump into the ceremony. Since the last time we spoke, the U.S. announced who their flag bearers were going to be.
That's right.
Sue Bird from women's basketball, and Eddie Alvarez from the men's baseball, bringing back baseball since 2008. Sue Bird, fun fact, she's competed since I think 2004. If she wins the gold this year, she'll have 5 gold medals. The women's basketball team have actually won gold since '96. Not to jinx them like I did the women's soccer team.
Not gonna work.
I hope I don't. But yeah, she and Eddie Alvarez, he's an infielder.
Yep.
He used to play on I don't know if he still does, for the Miami Marlins. But he actually competed in the, I think, 2014 Winter Olympics, and he won silver in speed skating. Yeah.
Nice.
Really?
So he's kind of like the Bo Jackson of the Olympics, sort of, maybe.
Oh, I like that.
So yeah,
He's versatile.
They were both voted. It's a good honor. Like the whole team gets together, the whole U.S. team gets together. They vote, and these were the 2 that were voted for. So they were both super grateful. I think you couldn't have had a better honor than to be selected by your teammates.
Nice. I agree. Good choices there. Flag bearers.
So Danny, at 5:55 a.m. when you're watching, keep an eye out for both of those holding the USA flag.
Nice. Be playing the Olympic. I'm gonna be playing the Olympic overture on. Was it on?
The
YouTube,
John
on
Williams
loop?
March to
Boom,
wake you up.
boom, 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 boom,
It's time! It's time!
boom,
It's starting!
boom, boom. Do you remember we
And
played
if you have
that?
a gong, there's no
Okay.
gong in the apartment for you guys to.
No, we'll
Should roll.
Get one of
advocate for you.
Ariel's
Boom,
Get one of
boom.
Ariel's cats and just throw it on Danny. Starting.
Look,
Everything
real quick.
but I'm glad Gabby brought that up because like she said, I think there hasn't been baseball in the Olympics for a while.
It was actually, since Japan is hosting and baseball is huge in Japan, it was a personal request that the country made to the IOC. They wanted baseball back for their country.
Oh, that's
That's
what's
exciting.
up. That's what's up.
And the thing is that I know before, because I know it hadn't been around for a while.
Damn.
And before, it wasn't necessarily, the USA is going to win, because remember, in baseball and the MLB right now, there's a lot of good players coming out of Puerto Rico and Colombia and Mexico and the Netherlands. There's a lot of German players also. They come from those backgrounds. So, but looking at the roster, I hadn't seen the roster until now. There's a lot of good young talent. There's some good veteran presence. Todd Frazier, he's there. He's a veteran.
Todd Frazier is actually from Thomas Two Guns' hometown.
Hey,
Really?
Around the same age, in '98, he actually won the Little League World
Little
Series.
League, yeah.
So that's exciting.
Oh,
You have a
dang.
Little League World Series, maybe a medal, perhaps gold.
Yeah.
Not
And
too
and
much to say
and the
that.
thing is, Todd Frazier, he was a free agent at the beginning of the season. And when he wasn't really getting, I guess, offers that he wanted, he decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead. I guess that's when Japan announced that they were going to have baseball. And he went and worked out for the U.S. Olympic team, because you're allowed to add a couple of old veteran players. And he made it on the team. And so, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. They have Tyler Austin, Bubba Starley, some good young players, Shane Bass. I mean, these are guys that are in the top 100 prospects of baseball. So, there's a good mix, and hopefully the U.S. team, the men's team, shows out. So that's cool.
And the women's softball, they had a pretty good showing. I think yesterday they had a
They're
shutout
already
win.
showing out.
Dang.
Whoa. Are we lagging?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, no, yeah, they're already showing out. They're doing awesome.
Yeah, actually.
They're heavily favorites to win in that women's softball.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely keep an eye out for that. On Tuesday, we talked about some new sports that were coming into the Olympics, skateboarding being one of them. Between now and the next Mezzo Forte show, I don't know if the one tomorrow at 5:55 a.m. or the one on Tuesday, skateboarding will take place. And I think they're actually going to be handing out medals for skateboarding this weekend. Sunday for the guys, Monday for the girls. The U.S. has, I don't know if you could call him an influencer, skateboard athlete influencer. He'll be competing on Sunday. And then, of course, on Monday, I was wrong on Tuesday. Sky Brown, she's the 13-year-old. She's competing for the UK on Monday. So keep an eye out for her.
Oh my goodness.
That could have been you, Evan.
Could have been. Oh.
I mean, not at 12, but you could have done it at 22, maybe.
Well, it wasn't an event back then.
It's true.
It was a sport back then.
And like Tony Hawk is a judge this year or something.
Sick.
I think he's just an ambassador. All right.
Okay. Ambassador.
Yeah, like a sport ambassador or whatever. I don't know what that means, but that's what he is.
Well, I'm pretty sure we can say Tony Hawk is probably the best skateboarder ever. I mean, I'm not very well versed in the skateboarding world, but I would assume so.
He's got video games named after him for some reason.
Pretty bad at video games too, by the way.
The first 900, right? He did the first
900, yeah.
Yeah, he did the
So-
first 900, yeah. Well, anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
something else off skateboarding topic is to keep an eye out for this weekend, gymnastics. That's the most popular, I guess you could say, Olympic sport. And they will be competing this weekend, men's and women's. And by the time we talk next, they will have already given out some medals as well to the men. The women compete on Tuesday for medals. So keep an eye out for that. They'll be qualifying this weekend. They narrow it down to 8 countries to compete in the final, and then 24 individuals to compete the following day.
Nice.
Keep it out. Simone Biles has been posting videos of her vaults. They were deemed too dangerous in some tournaments. The Olympics are going to let her compete with those. So keep an eye out for those.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things I love about the Olympics. Like, you're gonna see all these different events, like Danny said, some of the things that you haven't seen before, or maybe some things you didn't know were an actual Olympic game. But you have your marquee events for the Summer Olympics. Summer Olympics, you're there to, at least me, the gymnastics and track and field.
And
Track
swimming.
and field and swimming. Swimming. Those 3 I feel are like the top most competitive. Those are the ones you see. Those are the ones prime time. The dives, the swimming, the gymnastics, and it goes the same for the winter. For the winter, you're watching the skating, you're watching the
Hockey.
the skiing, and hockey. You're watching. Those are some of the main ones in the winter. But I mean, the Olympics is something I always get very into, and I'm excited for it to start. So that's good to hear that gymnastics are already going to start.
Yeah, that'll be this weekend. And then head to the pool because they're going to start some swimming. Some medals will be handed out starting on Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. I think the 400 meters, Katie Ledecky should be in that one. And she, of course, is the favorite to keep an eye out for that one.
Favorite to win everything. So
Pretty much. But you'll give us the medal count pretty much throughout each episode during these Olympics, right?
Yeah, I thought, well, you guys would post them.
Yeah. I haven't
Graphic.
I haven't posted it yet, but yes, when we'll get together and then just to do all the updates and boom, just go from there.
We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
I'm excited, dude. I was telling them that I'm excited to do that graph, the metal graph. I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah.
I don't
I
know why
mean,
that's exciting for me, but that's exciting.
well, you get
That's
to
good. Looks good.
you're representing. You're showing how your country's doing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and you're showing. The we're gonna be talking about the best athletes. That our country has to offer, and see how they do in all these events. I mean, we got to remember, and I think that's why they made that big deal with what was it, Shakari Richardson? Right, that's her name, Shakari.
Yeah.
I don't know. So like that was one of the big deals. Like, oh, she's been training and competing and years to finally make it to the Olympics, and then her dream gets cut short. And I guess that's what it is, because you have to have that determination to become good enough to not only compete. Think about it. Some of these people are in college. So not only do you have to be the best at your university, you have to be the best in your conference, right? So you're in UT, you have to be the best in the Big 12. Then you have to be the best in the USA nationally. Then you have to go and compete against the world, right? And that's something that is super. I don't know. It should be super. You should feel super proud and about what you have accomplished. And even if that's what they say, some of these people they go to the Olympics and say, you know what, I maybe didn't win a medal, but it's an experience that not many have will end up doing in their life.
But then you also have like your LeBron James, who maybe doesn't want to compete this year. Then you have a lot of the people that are pulling out.
And that's one of the things that I've been arguing, with Danny. And I don't think necessarily arguing is the best word, but when we had these discussions about the U.S. men's team, the basketball team, I don't understand why we cannot send our best athletes. Why we cannot send the best of the best that we have? Because that's how we show, hey, even if you can say we're the favorites, we have to go out there and perform. And with the team we have now, I'm not saying we're not going to win gold, but it's not a guarantee now. It's not something that for sure is going to happen. And all because, LeBron doesn't want to go, and Kyrie doesn't want to go, and Harden doesn't want to go. I mean, you have an opportunity that a lot of people don't get. Now, again, there's another argument where you can say, well, LeBron's already done it before. He's already won 3 gold medals, and Kyrie already has a gold medal. Sure, but you're doing it for your country. Don't be selfish. And for this, for this competition, you're doing it for your country. You're doing it for everybody else that you want to be a role model for. So the Keldon Johnsons of the world, Danny.
Yeah, I'm getting his jersey. I am getting his jersey. I just like the design or whatever on like the actual U.S. jerseys this year.
If it's ugly as shit, you buy it because that's your patriotic duty.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I've never bought one before, so I was like, I might as well, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of super fan art, I love your shirt today.
Thank you. Yeah, I had
Yes.
to do something patriotic. Like I said, it's the eve of the opening ceremonies. Had to show some sport.
I'll see if I can find a flag or something.
There you go. And also in honor of our 50th episode. But yeah, in terms of the Olympics, I'm just sad we couldn't send our own correspondent over there to Japan. Evan, you know the land. You could
I thought you were talking about me. You're talking about Evan.
Oh, okay, whoever could sneak into Japan, you could have been our correspondent.
I can go on the base for like a little bit. Then I gotta go.
I was like, oh yeah.
But
Crack
you
AV has to
wouldn't be
connect.
able to leave there. Like everything is completely locked down right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think you can even go into the country.
Really?
So,
Guys, everyone
bro, the Olympics are almost on the verge of not happening because of how bad it is in Japan.
And if you go, you gotta get tested like 20 times.
Yeah, you have to get tested 96 hours before you leave here, 24 hours before you leave here. When you arrive, you test again. And then every day it's a saliva test. If you fail the saliva test, then it's a nose test. fail the nose test, it's isolation. Can't go anywhere. You can only stay in the village. You can't go out anywhere. So it's really unfortunate because the people of Japan have been waiting for this for a long time, and now there are no spectators. People can't go to the restaurants. People can't go to
Yeah, no.
yeah. It's really sad for the people of Japan. They've been waiting for this, and then now it's not what they expected, and a lot of them don't even want it anymore.
Well,
Yeah, no.
that's a good hot take. Do you think they should have canceled it? I mean, obviously, health aside, the whole spirit of competition is kind of a little bit watered down since there's no fans to like really up the stakes a bit.
I think it's gonna sound bad, and maybe it's too short notice because I know that's why they come out with these Olympic sites, years and almost decades in advance. I think they announced what was it, the World Cup or the Olympics, Brisbane, in what 2030 something.
2032.
Yeah, so it takes that long to make sure the infrastructure of the country or the city or cities they're going to use is ready. Make sure they have all the different air arenas and stadiums for whatever events, and it takes years. And I know it may not be as simple as, hey, let's just move it, but I think it starting last year when they canceled them, I think there should have been at least a contingency plan of what if we don't have them in Japan? What if COVID comes back up? Maybe moving it to a country that's already developed. And I know that one of the obvious ones to say is maybe the USA, but maybe Great Britain, maybe something like that, maybe Germany, where these countries already have similar setups because they've already held events recently, whether it be the Olympics or
Beijing.
the World Cup
The
or the Euros or something like that, but I mean, but Gabby said it sucks for the people because, you're excited for the fact they're coming here. I can go and see these things that don't happen all the time. It's like, I know the World Cup is going to be in North America, 2026 or something like that. And, I'm excited for it because by 2026, God willing, I'm here. I want to go see games because I know that Dallas is going to be chosen. Houston's going to be chosen.
Yeah.
Those sites are going to be chosen for sure. Possibly Austin now. Possibly San Antonio.
Q2.
I mean, and those would be awesome to go see, whoever's in the World Cup then, Germany, France, the USA, Mexico, you have these options, because they're going to be so close, but to have it taken away and canceled, I mean, that's the worst. And now having it can't even go in. That's just makes it unbearable.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm just gonna be selfish and just kind of say that, I mean, I mean, be careful and everything like that, but just for the spirit of the sport, if you can play, let's play. I mean, whoever can play. I know it's just
but what about the people, the fans, the country?
And that's what
Infrastructure.
They get blackballed.
And that's what I wish. Like we all I wish they everyone the sports. It's so hard, dude. With everything going on, like you can't just just pause. Press pause or whatever. This is not an actual thing, or let's just chill for a bit and see what happens. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. Sports have to happen, events have to happen, businesses, whatever, continue on, right? And Olympics, and it sucks because it's true, because it should be an experience. I mean, you talk about the players all the time, how maybe they didn't win or whatever, but they went to Olympics, dude, and
trained for years.
And they got to experience because sometimes from there they get to maybe they get to see another team or go to another league or something like that, but they talk to people from that are as good as them from other country. So stuff like that, where you just kind of they're literally the best of the best of the best, not necessarily players or whatever, right? But athletes in general. like
Yeah.
in their
Yeah, of course.
particular events or whatever. So it's crazy.
Mhm.
And it just kind of sucks how it is all watered down. I wish it would have waited another year. Just be like, hey, you guys,
It's too
it's
much
just
money, man. They're losing millions.
well,
And
yeah,
that's
dude.
the thing,
But
the money, and then you're gonna start you're gonna start overlapping with other events that might happen,
yeah,
because you got to
that's what I'm
remember
saying. Yeah,
there's still the world championships for the winter Olympics. You have these competitions, and a lot of these athletes are in college, like they're still at school. Some of them are training on their own or whatever, but some of these are in school, some of these are professional players. Like, they're already talking about canceling the NHL season for next year, at least half of it, because a lot of the players are going to be in the Winter Olympics. They're going to go play for their country. So that and they already done it before, where they half the season's canceled and they just go half the season. Whoever makes it to the playoffs and wins, and and so
wow.
yeah, they've done
Dang.
that before. Yeah. But think about it. It's the Winter Olympics. You're gonna have the best players for Russia. You're gonna have the best players for the Ukraine, for Canada, for the USA. Go play for their country. They don't have age restrictions. So all
Oh
the best are
wow.
gonna go. So
Yeah.
you're gonna have the Dallas Stars, the Tampa Bay Lightning with like 5 guys, because they're all gonna go play hockey. So it's something that the NHL has to take account of, and they're gonna cancel half the season. They're already talking about it. So if they were to
So wait,
move
the Winter
the Summer
Olympics are
Olympics
this year?
Uh,
No,
next year,
2022.
2022.
Oh! I was like, damn, they're doing summer and winter. Dang,
Well,
se
they used to
pasaron.
do that. They used to do
Yeah.
them both in the same year. I think it was
Yes.
92 that they separated them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
used
So
to
that.
do
now
that.
now every 2
this summer
years
was
you
supposed to be
have an
last
Olympics.
summer, then,
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that. I know that. Yeah.
but the
So
winter stayed on schedule.
yeah.
Oh,
So
yes.
and that's the thing. I mean, it's something that um there's a lot of moving parts, and you got to make sure everything lines up, and we'll see. I mean, even like next year, the World Cup is going to be in the fall. It's going to be in the winter
Yeah.
because it's too hot in Qatar.
Yeah.
So they can't play the World Cup in the summer. So they're gonna, they're moving the World Cup. It's gonna start in
And the
November.
players' cleats are melting again.
Yeah,
dude.
Fifth halftime.
Dude, over there it's like 120, like 115, like that's their
yeah.
standard.
I think
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and I think because Qatar. So when Qatar got the
Hell
bid
no.
to have the World Cup, they had to build stadiums because they don't have enough soccer stadiums in Qatar.
Yeah.
So I think since they started, I think they've had like I'm pretty sure the number's wrong. I don't know if they have 60,000 workers been working or 60,000 have died since
Jesus.
then. No, it's probably too much. I think it was 60,000 workers have been working, but like a percentage of them have died because of heat, because of working conditions. They don't have the best machinery. They don't have the best of the best. And,
They're not even from there. A lot of them were like, I don't want to say slaves, but a lot of them were brought from other countries,
They're
indentured
cheap
servants,
labor.
pretty much.
they've been taken from, yes, you're absolutely right. I know that came out in one of the Real Sports.
Mhm.
They go and they get people, adults, males from other villages and other cities, other towns. They get the kids and like, hey, let's go. We're gonna give you so much money, but they all stay in a room that's like
The bucket.
15 by 15. Yeah, and they go. They have a bucket. That they're all. They don't shower. Like, it's horrible what they're doing. But Qatar got the bid, so they have to have it ready. So aside from all that happening, they can't do it in the summer because they already seen their workers are dying from just building the damn stadiums. Now for these soccer players, they have to move it to November. So that's gonna cut into the Premier League. That's gonna cut the all the domestic leagues, the UEFA's, all that's gonna be affected next year. So we're gonna see how that goes, because that's all. It used to be in the summer where nothing really happens. Now it's all gonna be in November, December, where the UEFA's going on, all the La Liga, the Premier League, all of them, Serie A are happening. So we'll see how it's going to affect next year. But I mean, it sucks what's happening to Japan, and hopefully not more things or keep on coming up with cancellations and stuff. Hopefully.
So then, like, what's like the next big event besides the ceremony? Like, what's a good thing to look out for this
weekend, Danny, is the gymnastics.
Yeah.
Gymnastics.
The whole
Talk
gymnastics.
about it, Danny.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Yeah.
mind.
Damn.
We're behind the curtain,
I
Danny.
am. I'm my bad, guys. I am like off on my game today.
Gymnastics,
Skateboarding.
swimming.
Take a look at this.
That's
Go
like-
to the pool and then some diving's going to start. You have to take a look at the Chinese team. They are just completely dominant on the diving board.
Oh wow!
I saw a crazy stat. In the last 56 gold medals, they've won the last 40 of the last 56.
Wow!
Like crazy. The synchronized diving is always something fun to watch. But yeah, go to the pool for the swimming, for the diving, go to the gym for the gymnastics, and then go to the park for the skateboarding.
Yes.
It's the first time ever, and there's some big names out there.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
now Chad did mention earlier that the first guy to land a 1080 was 12, and he did it last week, and Tony Hawk was present. So he did it.
That happened in the X Games.
Yeah, during the X Games. Yeah, and he won,
Wow.
right, or something like
Yeah,
that.
he
A
yeah,
1080,
he did it.
a 1080.
Yeah,
Dude.
and he did it in front of Tony Hawk.
He turned. How many turns is that?
I don't know.
Dude,
Divide that
he
by
was
90.
already like.
Or
I saw
180.
it. I saw it
3
on.
turns.
I wasn't trying to see it. I switched the channel and I saw it happen. He was already like the ramp right here. He was still spinning down here.
Oh,
Like he
God.
basically landed right at the bottom of the ramp, and he managed to stay on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
Cool.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So that's crazy. So maybe he'll be on the. I don't know. We gotta look that guy up now. I'm curious.
I'm sure he's gonna be one of those famous skateboarders we're gonna see from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. So we gotta figure that out. So that's cool. Definitely check that out. Guys. Also on. We're doing a show on Monday or on Tuesday. Do we have anything on Monday or Tuesday morning?
I'm not sure what the slate of Olympic sports are.
Oh, yeah, the female gymnastics. By the time Mezzo is on, the medals will have already been given out, but the women's team gymnastics will be competing for gold. They're the favorite. Keep an eye out for them. If you are watching both Mezzo and that simultaneously, I encourage that.
Yeah.
And I think by Tuesday, the softball would have already finished. So we should already know who's going to win the softball, the gold medal there, and yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday we'll have the medal for softball. We'll know. We'll see if the U.S. Will have the gold. So we'll go from there.
All right, awesome. So lots of good sports to look out for over the weekend, Olympics, but also we'll get into some of the CONCACAF pretty soon, the Gold Cup action. But first of all, it's 10 p.m. You all know what that is. We are officially Mezzo Forte Sportz After Dark. Evan, some music. We're stepping on some alcoholic beverages. We're going to be uncut, unrated. We
That's
already
right.
got Adrian trolling us on the chat. Asshole couldn't be on the show.
He wants you to do the pose.
Do the Tosco pose, Tosco. Yeah.
Grab a beer, everyone.
All right, just
I
a
will do
quick
the
round
same.
table. Who's sipping what? I'm drinking a nice Mexican Tecate. I should have been drinking the Budweiser, like red, white, and blue. Tosco looks like you're sipping on water.
I am
Some green tea.
Some
Oh,
green
that's
tea.
cool.
Oh, there you go.
Gap Gold, what you sipping on in that star?
In my cup, I finished it, but I have Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer.
Hey,
2 carbs.
Fancy. I like it. Good taste.
That's what's
Crack
up.
AB.
I took
Anything
a
on
rip
here,
out of
dude?
your page and your books. You've been wanting that banquet bearer. So,
Fuck Coors Light. It's about the banquet.
It does
I
say
like it.
it does say super different. I remember I went to a bar once and they gave me that instead of a regular Coors. I'm like, what the hell is this, dude? This tastes like different. It's good.
It's got flavor.
Yeah.
It's not mineral
different,
water.
for sure.
It tastes like piss shit. But
All right. You sipping on anything over there, Dan?
me, I just got a Red Bull. You know,
Red Bull.
try to stay up. You know, don't drink Red Bull after 10, after dark.
You're pulling the all-nighter tonight.
Oh yeah, my sleep schedule is all over the place, but I'll be fine.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't work this
Opening
week.
ceremony, Mezzo Forte on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Dude, I'm gonna put an alarm and it's gonna happen. Damn it, I work though. Whatever, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna
Figure
do
it out, Danny.
Yeah,
Figure it out.
I'm gonna do it. Someone else gonna have to help me with OBS.
Hey, man,
No,
I
it's
still need your YouTube TV
nice.
password in the morning.
Fine,
There
yeah,
it is.
I'll give you. It's all about YouTube TV. Just saying. All right, guys. We
no.
are. No,
All right, we're done with the Olympic talk, so we'll move on to the next topic. I think the other biggest headline that we had, we didn't really touch base on it because the damn game was going on, was the NBA Finals, and we did have a champion crowned during the live show.
nice. That's always exciting. So
Is it?
NBA Finals. We finally the NBA Finals are obviously done. The Bucks have won. Congrats to the Bucks. They are champions.
Won 4 straight to take it in 6.
Now obviously Giannis did actually pull a Finals MVP esque performance. Hence we won the MVP.
Oh yeah.
50
and-
points.
Yeah, so in this case, now we're gonna do a little, just kind of talk our reactions about the NBA Finals. I know we had some yesterday. We just kind of had like just right at the moment. Now we kind of have slept on it and everything like that. We'll actually just start with actually start back to you, Superfan Ari. I wanted to see now that you kind of slept on it a little bit. What do you think? What do you feel? And yeah, just like thoughts about the NBA Finals, Giannis being the MVP, winning his first ring.
Well, thanks. First of all, like I was like you, man. We were trying to go for Phoenix. I don't know, keep the trophy in the West, so to speak. I like the story of Chris Paul finally getting to the top of the mountain, but something happened. They won 2, and that was it. They completely just lost it psychologically, I guess. I don't know who didn't show up for which games, but Giannis, I mean, he had monster games. He had 40 points here and 20 some there. Middleton, I think when he didn't score 40, Middleton scored 40, and that was like game 4. And then Giannis just totally wins in class act, 50 points, wins the championship in front of his home crowd. I mean, you can't hate. I respect the guy. He is definitely one of the top players in the league, maybe in the top 5 in the world. Definitely, humble guy, comes from humble beginnings. He definitely worked his ass off. Stayed with his team. He stayed loyal. He and Middleton were the only 2 guys original from I don't know when they were first drafted. So that's good to see loyalty pays off. So I can accept that. And the dude, I mean, you can't hate the dude. He's funny as hell. I think after he won the championship, he had like the Larry O'Brien trophy and his like MVP trophy. He was going to drive through somewhere. I don't know, get some
At
food.
Chick-fil-A. He
Chick-fil-A.
ordered the 50,
Oh, yeah. 50 piece.
those chicken biscuits. He wanted 50, I guess, because he scored 50 points. He said, not 49, not 51, I want 50. The
Yeah, he's saying
Chick-fil-A
That's why,
girl did not look impressed.
dude.
She didn't know who the hell he was.
Dude,
Probably.
She didn't.
Chick-fil-A went up $248 million in value in one day because of that. God damn.
I hope he tips well, because ordering 50 of those in the drive-through, order it online. Have it ready.
I was like,
That's true.
That's true. You gotta wait an hour
10,
for
15
that.
minutes, yeah. Give me
She
a
did
heads
not look impressed at all.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
up. This, I mean, I know you won a championship, but I didn't.
That's right.
Right. So yeah, I mean, he's a good player. Definitely, he earned it. His team earned it. His coach, Coach Bud, whatever, former Popovich protege. So did the better team win? It did certainly look like it in these last 4 games. But we'll get y'all's opinion in a bit. So happy for them. Good for them. They had a 50-year drought, and they finally got that ship back over there with the Milwaukee. I guess Coach. No, let's go to Gab Gold. I know you were also on this of the show when the game happened.
Yeah,
But what
I
were your
was going
thoughts?
for the Bucks. I was going for the Bucks because of Coach Bud, even though Monty Williams is also a pop protege.
Yeah.
Forbes
Doesn't
is on
everyone
there,
is?
and then I told you I wanted it because it's brother. You're my brother. I like
And-
the whole sibling thing on the same team. Plus,
to
they were the team that beat Tommy's Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets are going to lose to anybody. Let it beat the champions, right?
That takes the
Might as
sting
well.
away. Yeah.
That's how I was going for. I've always been a fan of Giannis, and I liked his style of play. And I liked him on the podium when he said, "I make my free throws. I'm a champion."
Damn.
Yeah. He shut up the haters.
Yeah, I like that. That was funny. I didn't like that the Suns kept fouling him. It's a championship game. It's a championship game. Play the game.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. Coach looks like he's got a lot to say. So we'll switch the mic. What do you got to say, Coach, about this championship?
I mean, the better team going in, the better team won, right? The Bucks were the better team. The Suns were the upstart, right? They were the young team that came out of nowhere, doing real good. Chris Paul, Jay Crowder brought that veteran presence, and they're coming out and they're playing awesome. And I think it was what was it? Game 3 they lost because DeAndre Ayton got in foul trouble. Devin Booker didn't really get going. Cool. That was gonna happen, right? They went back to Milwaukee. Milwaukee was gonna win some games. It wasn't gonna be a sweep. Then Game 4, and I think Game 4 is where it switched. I think that's where everything switched because that's where Devin Booker had an awesome game, and Chris Middleton had a blowout. He had a great game, and but this is where Chris Paul started not showing up and making errors. That's when he had a couple of turnovers late, and this is where Milwaukee kind of turned the page on the series. They started realizing that if they shut down DeAndre Ayton, they put more pressure on him. It kind of limits what the Suns can do. Now if you take away Ayton, they don't have another quality backup. They had Dario Saric, but he tore his Achilles. I think in the last series or at the beginning of this year. I think it was the last series. He tore his Achilles or his ACL, and he's out. And so now the thing is, you take out Aiden, you don't really have a good solid backup. You have Frank Kaminsky, who's but then now you're relying on the shooting of Devin Booker and Chris Paul. Devin Booker shows up, Chris Paul doesn't. And so that's where I think the tide turned. Now, the thing I will say, the last 2 games, the refereeing, the officials, the foul calling was horrendous. I'm not going to say that the Bucks weren't going to win, but yes, there was a lot of fouls that they were calling on Giannis, and some of them were because of his free throws where they want to make him, if they're going to make foul somebody, make him shoot, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the refs were not calling it the same way both ways, at least from what I saw. There was a lot of times where Devin Booker was getting fouled by PJ Tucker. no call. But then on the other side, Drew Holiday goes in and then foul. Barely gets touched. Giannis goes in, barely gets touched, foul. I think the officials played a big part. I'm not saying that the Bucks were not going to win the series, but I feel that the referees, at least in Game 6, for sure, played a big part in the outcome of the game.
Really?
But I think to answer what Danny asked, I do think Giannis is the best player in the world. He is.
Above Kevin Durant?
Kevin Durant didn't win the championship. So, I mean, if you're...
That's actually what Chad is right there. Adrian was like, don't at me right now, but Giannis is the greatest player I don't know to ever live. I don't know about that, but greatest player right now. Greatest
He's
player
the
right
best
now.
player right now. And the thing is,
okay, are we prisoners of the moment though?
Maybe that's a good point. Maybe, but at the same time, you could argue that he's been in the top 5 for the last 3, 4, 5 years, right?
Yeah.
They've always been in the hunt,
right? You can say LeBron, Durant. Some may say Harden. Some may say Curry. Some may say Irving. Some may say Luka. Giannis is there.
Yeah, all the hardware. Look at all the hardware he's gotten.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
most improved, player of the year. I think two-time MVP.
Two-time MVP. Defensive player of the year. I mean, he's done a lot, and he's still 26.
Yeah.
Now the thing is can Milwaukee keep it up? Because I think that Giannis finally broke out. He finally broke out. He is, he had the pressure.
Yeah.
He punched the pressure in the face and showed up. 50 points, 40 points, 40 points. I mean, he did what he was, but he was a superstar. He played like the superstar.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're playing a team like the Suns, an upstart. Now, what's going to happen when next year the Lakers come back and they bring in more pieces for LeBron? What happens when the Golden State Warriors come back with Klay Thompson and now they have more draft capital to trade? They're talking about Damian Lillard to the Warriors. Imagine that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So now...
Or Kawhi Leonard. I saw Kawhi Leonard to the Warriors as well.
Kawhi may be going. And now that's the thing. Now you're talking about teams that Jamal Murray comes back.
Yeah.
We don't know what could have happened in Denver. So, now we're seeing different things. We hope that the Suns are still around. I think they will be. I mean, they have a good young core. I know, Danny, you were asking about Chris Paul. I mean, he has that $44 million option. It's going to be a lot. Wow. It's going to take away from the Suns being able to sign more players. But I think if the Suns can add a couple of more key players, some more veterans, they're on the bench to come off the bench. Now we're talking about a team that's ready to compete every year. So,
yeah,
I mean, awesome. Congratulations to the Bucks. Giannis finally gets his ring. And, but now how will it be next year? Will they be competing next year again?
Vegas has Brooklyn as the top to win it all again.
Oh, yeah. Brooklyn has
the Nets.
Brooklyn!
Yeah. They have
good
the
reason.
Nets, they have the Lakers, and the Warriors, I think, ahead of the Bucks.
Oh, wow. Even now?
Yeah. Right now.
Yes.
They came out with the odds. Brooklyn's number 1, Lakers are number 2, Warriors are 3, and I think the Bucks are 4.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
For real? Damn, that's kind of disrespect, though.
Damn, that committee.
Just go by the numbers, man.
Well,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But I get it, but god damn.
I think the Suns are like at 10 or something.
No,
They're not even the top.
Yeah.
Oh, they're trying to. Oh, and then so right now before as you were talking Tosco, they're talking about free throws, how like making your free throws and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should dang, my bad. I'm like reading. You just was it just play the game and stop fouling. And then there's just play a game, but it is strategy, and also just consistently hit your free throws. You won't get fouled on purpose. I don't know,
Yeah.
and I mean, and the refs aren't going to be a lot
Giannis
of
was
times,
17 for 19.
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and that's a crazy thing. Like you can't shack him anymore because, and that's what they're saying. How like they're saying, oh no, he's Ben Simmons. I'm like, okay, dude, first of all, like Giannis can't shoot, but he'll try to shoot. Like he'll hustle. Like I mean, he's not gonna try to shoot, but like he won't be scared of it. He's not scared of it. That's one. The second one, he'll go at you now. Like he won't just try to dominate the paint. He'll go at your body because he'll hit now it's like, oh well, I mean, you can hack and shack me or whatever, but now I'm gonna hit my free throws though. So you're fucked. So you need to stop me. You know what I mean?
Thing is this. I mean, you look at game 4. Game 4, he went to the line 8 times. He was 4 for 8. He's 50%.
Yeah.
That's not good. Game 5, he's 4 for 11. Less than 50%. That's not good. But then you go game 6.
On the world stage.
World stage. And then game 6 comes 17 for 19. Like, what the shit? Like, so the thing is like, even if
psychological.
Yeah, because you're thinking, oh, we're gonna do he's been missing. We haven't been fouling him a lot. We're gonna use the hack and shack. And then he makes all of them. You're like, what? Before you weren't doing the hack and shack, he was missing them. Now you're doing the hack and shack, and now he's making them all. Like, I mean, but I think that goes back to what you were saying. He's not afraid to still the whole playoffs, the whole fans when they're away, they're counting 1, 2, 3 because you're supposed to have 10 seconds only to shoot your free throw once you get the ball. That's why they count. And he takes more than 10 seconds. He does a whole routine and he does this and he looks at the ball, makes out with it a little bit, and then he shoots it. And the thing is like, that's why they count. And that's why he's been missing, or sometimes he makes them and everybody's like, whatever. But now, on the time it's most important, doesn't change his routine, still does the same thing, and now he makes 17. So
takes 20 seconds, but they'll make them.
I mean, and that's the thing, and you like you said, it's demoralizing for the Suns because you're like, we're trying
the rules.
We're trying this.
That's the strategy, yeah.
1, the rule. 2, you're using a strategy and it doesn't work, and you're like, geez, it blows up in your face, and then win the
city of Phoenix. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Now, also, specifically with the odds, no, awful area was like, well, more than anything, they're trying to sell tickets. Would that be, or like not necessarily sell tickets, but like just kind of the showiness of it, where it's just a lot more attractive to say that LeBron's gonna go to the finals rather than like.
Well, I think I guess I can see what he's saying in the sense of, oh, well, we got to put the most popular guy up there.
Yeah, KD and dude, because KD against LeBron in the finals. Nah.
But again, I think
perfect.
And I think it goes back to, like, I'm pretty sure the Clippers are on there, and I think I'm pretty sure the Mavericks are probably on there. Why? Because they have a superstar. And one trade away, one signing away, and now the Mavericks, if the Mavericks get DeMar DeRozan, if the Mavericks get a Kawhi Leonard to go with Luka, they're automatically a favorite. They're up there now. They might not be the number 1 favorite, but they're up there because now he has somebody to go and be able to help him out on the offensive side. He doesn't have somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they'll
yeah.
put the odds. Sometimes they'll make them to where they put the Mavericks, or they'll put, a team that has a superstar, and then if you add, they make something happen. Boom, the odds go up now.
Yeah.
I can see where they do something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, and I don't know. I feel like the Nets just are just gonna go on a rampage. I don't know about 2014 Spurs or whatever. But I feel like, well, I don't know about this. Maybe the Nets, completely. Because I don't know, dude. Kyrie, I trust him as a talent, just not as a player, like during the game or whatever. And this just because of his injury history. But KD's gonna be on a mission, bro. It's gonna be bad. Especially if he wins the gold. Ooh, done. I mean, he is, dude. Because he's coming back. He's coming back from injury. He lost like in the second round. Second round, right? Yeah, second round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. I don't think the Lakers are gonna be good next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't
Outside of
think.
left field.
Because I just don't. I think LeBron is getting old. I think it's just gonna happen. I think that Cliff is getting there, dude. It's getting there. And
you do realize that, like, LeBron at
you kind of feel it though.
At 36, 37, probably had the best year of his career, stats wise. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, dude, stat wise and everything, but like,
I mean, that's a big deal. Now, if the team's not good, I get if the team's not good, but he himself, he's gonna take them to the playoffs regardless.
Well, yeah. I just don't. Yep. I feel like the cliff is coming pretty soon because it in basketball it comes out a lot faster, like not faster, but just more like, I guess
the drop off is right away.
Is right away, yeah. Compared to just to football where you can just kind of phase or whatever into a little practice squad or like a backup.
Okay, that's a good segue into something we were going to discuss anyway, about players needing to ride into the sunset or their prime is already past them. Is Chris Paul? What's going to happen to Chris Paul? Should he stay or should he go? We'll start with, I know Gabby Gold hasn't spoken in a while. Let's get her quick take on Chris Paul.
If he leaves, though, who would take him? They were kind of throwing around some teams earlier today, but is he too expensive? Is he too old? Who would take him? That's the problem. I don't think it's where does he want to go. It's who would take him. I think maybe staying in Phoenix probably the smartest. I don't know.
Okay, that's good. Is it smarter to stay or go when somebody calls?
Yeah, I think it would be smarter to stay and refinance or restructure the contract or whatever, because he's just too expensive, and it's like, bro, we can't pay you. We need to build our own shit,
Well, and not only that, is he's not just gonna want to go to any team. Yeah. He's gonna want to go to a team where he can win a championship.
The Clippers.
Yeah, they were throwing around the Lakers earlier today as a possibility.
He's still got a home over there, like in Cali.
Yeah, and LeBron was there. I mean, yeah, whatever, right?
His banana boat buddy, LeBron.
Yeah.
Because they're like best friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
They're best friends forever.
Yeah, man. Fucking go on vacation and shit.
Oh yeah.
Cool. They got a home over there.
I mean, the thing is you're right. Who won is going to pay that money. He's gonna, if he declines the option,
yeah,
he's gonna want a new contract. So you're talking maybe a 2, maybe a 3-year contract, and you're gonna pay him upwards of 40 mil a year.
Yeah, because he's getting.
He'll be 40 at the end of the 3-year contract.
So yeah, because he got paid 41 this year. He got paid 40 last year, and he's getting paid 44 next year if they pick up the option.
And so like Gabby said, at 40 you're gonna be paying him 40 mil for a 40-year-old. I don't know many teams that are gonna do that. And so maybe he goes off of 1-year deals, but he's gonna want to go somewhere where they're going to win. So I'm sure he's gonna, if he does leave the Suns, because the Suns could go ahead. He can stay, and then they can use whatever money they have to go ahead and get some other players to come in and help. But now you're gonna come back and you're going up against a Golden State team that's going to be better, that's gonna be right there competing. The Nuggets are getting back Murray.
Full strength.
The Jazz are still going to be there. The Lakers are going to come back full head of steam. The Clippers, assuming Kawhi stays, are still going to be good.
Dallas
Kawhi
is
leaves.
dark horses always.
And yeah,
No
the
pun intended.
Mavericks. Yeah, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies with Ja. You never know. So it's going to be hard to say. I think maybe his best option would be to stay. But
it's getting wild in the West, and he needs to clan up.
He needs to ride into the sunset with the Suns.
There you go.
There it is.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. I like how it runs in the family too. I like this.
I know that. Yeah, if you guys
He
need
can do all the State Farm commercials he
album,
wants in Phoenix.
If you guys need any album titles or like song titles or anything, just hit up Gabby Goats Fan Art. They got the best names in the business.
The quips. Yeah.
You
got the
best quips, the best lines. Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, so
but yeah, we'll see what happens with the whole. I think he's got a deadline as well. Coming up that he has to decide what's going to go down. And on another note, the NBA draft is going to happen next Thursday, a week from tonight. Interesting to see. Maybe that can have a ripple effect on maybe the Lakers don't need an old point guard because they got a new point guard or something. Some weird Mamada shit's going to happen. Should be exciting. A lot of good young athletes out there. A lot of good talent. See what the Spurs get. I think the number one draft pick goes to Detroit. The Pistons.
Yeah, Detroit's going to get Kate Cunningham, so.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna say
no-brainer.
I was gonna say they better get him because we'll get him. No, we won't.
Oh, okay, because he's gonna go all the way down to 11 or 12.
Yes, dude, it's gonna happen. I don't know, some weird thing's gonna happen.
Awesome.
Intervention.
I love Dreamland. I love the Dreamland that we all live.
Anyways, go for it, Art.
No, that's cool. We'll keep up some coverage on that draft and our CP3 watch to see what happens with that. Yeah, right now, we'll be cheering for the USA men's squad. I think Gabby mentioned they got back, what's his face, Levine?
He should be there now. And then Booker, Middleton, and Holiday were supposed to be heading out Friday. I don't know, Friday Tokyo time, Friday our time, but they should be en route. I don't think they'll be there for the ceremony, but they're en route.
So I had heard and I read somewhere it was maybe a little maybe just a rumor, but it was don't be surprised if Middleton and Booker decide not to play.
Whoa.
Wasn't Booker at the conference, at the post-game conference when they were like, what are you going to do about this? How are you going to learn? He said, I don't have time. I got to go play for Team USA.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Maybe because
but, I don't know. I don't know. Your sources are probably
saying,
better than mine.
Yeah, because they were saying that, that they were in their inner circles. They were talking about, is it the best option coming off a long playoff series? You're not going to have as much time to recover and then go into the season, whatever it was. But it was just a rumor. I don't know. Maybe not true. But, I think that those two players, and even Drew Holiday for his defense, are very much needed on that team. So hopefully they'll make it out there soon and be ready for the games they have coming up. So
I know Booker's like 24. That's not a Chris Paul 37. That's a Devin Booker 24. I would hope that he'd be able to spring back and recover with enough time.
No, and
I hope so,
and
right?
I think, dude, like you're playing with KD, you're playing with all these like with Dame, and you're gonna start seeing them play like shit. I want to play, like it's the Olympics. It's kind of like you said, it's an experience or whatever. I think after a while, I don't know. if I was Devin Booker, I wouldn't even know how it would feel because I know. Well, I mean, I didn't play sports or whatever, but we did a lot of competitions that were like really intense, and it sucked when you just didn't win. Like when you were there and you just did not win. Oh, dude, it is not a cool feeling. And then you still have to like go to school or whatever the next day. You're like, dude, I don't want to do this. Like, but you're like you say, like I was saying. I mean, they're young. They should be able to bounce back. I mean, right? They're human still, right? But I think after a while, after a couple games or so, they'll be like, all right, cool. I'm good. You know, like I'm back in the rhythm. You know, my teammates and stuff like that. Cause I mean, dude, you had like the dream team, right? I mean, you had MJ. Are you like MJ and Larry Bird? I mean, those two Eagles would fill the whole like court by itself, you know. And that's because you had Charles Barkley and all this. You know, there was a lot in that. At the end of the day, obviously, it's like a different era and stuff like that, right? But they're so competitive with each other that, like, I mean, they end up getting along. Hopefully, it kind of works out for this team as well. Especially because you have KD, Dame. You know, you don't have the best of the best, but you at least have some talent. Hopefully, we can win.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, and then so we'll just kind of moving forward. With that, we'll move right into our as we move into our Olympic talk next Tuesday. Just kind of keep an eye out for that, guys. And also during the week, we'll also be posting on social media just a couple updates here and there. As we go all the medal counts and stuff like that. So just keep an eye out for that. Also as well, chat. Keep an eye out for that on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And obviously, you guys are on Twitch or on YouTube Live. So as we continue with the Olympics, we'll definitely keep you guys informed on that, so we can all learn. Because I actually don't know much about them either. So let's do it. All right, guys. We're moving into just on that topic. We'll go right into the Olympic men's soccer. So we'll just do the group stage real quick. Right now, that just a couple of highlights. We do have some teams. So in this case, so we're talking about the Olympics. So let me just kind of go difference between the Olympics, for men and just like the World Cup. Some teams take it seriously, some teams don't. Just straight up. Obviously the U.S. Men's soccer did not make it this year, unfortunately, or they didn't qualify for this Olympics, unfortunately. But they have the Gold Cup, which we'll talk about just shortly. And we do have just different other teams, different countries that are still pretty favorable. During for the gold. But in this case, surprisingly, Mexico is actually one of them now. Now, obviously, again, they don't send kind of send their quotation marks A team or B team, even though I don't actually think that exists, because if you're just as talented as you are and you got chosen by your country, done, dude. That should be it. Yeah, you are the A team. No,
Okay.
let's go.
Okay. All right.
Anyways,
Continue.
yeah, so we'll kind of talk about I know there's a lot of things going on specifically for a lot of countries going on right now. It is the group stage, so I just want to talk about a couple of them, a couple of standout games. So a couple of standout games. Obviously, you guys did see how Twitter got kind of exploded, the Twitterverse, with Mexico beating France. They beat them 4-1. It was a big deal, right? For the Mexico.
No, not really.
It was. It was. Obviously, it's not the world champion France. It's not. It's just not. This is
By leaps and bounds, it's not.
Yes, those
Let's
Watered
out
down,
there.
if you will.
Yeah, super watered down.
This is not the France that was at the Euros.
Oh,
No.
None.
Okay.
None of those.
Just to clarify.
But
these
it
guys
was
so
don't have
good.
the baguettes to compete with them.
So it's not the A team for France.
It's
It's
not even the
Le-
C team.
Le F team.
The whoever is left team. That's what it is.
Yes.
I don't even know it's that. I don't even. Whatever. we wouldn't go
And
there.
Mexico does have some of their A team in there, so
Okay.
Oh,
I mean they do. So
So in this case, then just kind of moving forward, that was one of the the big stories, right? A big one also was Australia and Argentina. Australia did actually beat Argentina 2-0, so that was actually pretty pretty interesting. Obviously, you did see the big one was Brazil, Germany. I don't think Germany did bring their quotation marks A team either, but I know
no.
Brazil did bring a couple of other stars here and there. So Charlison is playing, dude.
Who?
Charlison,
Ri-
Richarlison.
Richarlison, yeah, he's playing.
Yeah, he's playing. He's the
so Germany bratwurst.
yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Oh my God, where's Evan at? Where put him some goddamn sounds.
He needed a break.
Um,
Cool. Olympic group stages. Keep going. You're doing good.
Yeah. So and in this case, we'll just it's as we continue with the first round. They'll go ahead and go into the group stage right into I think it's or the quarterfinals are actually going to be this Saturday, so it's kind of like that fast. So I'm sorry, next Saturday. Sorry, the next Saturday.
Yeah, no, not yet.
So this whole week, and then next week we'll talk just the group stage and how those teams fare at that. So
Yeah.
Dos,
Looking
talk
at
to
some
me.
of some of the teams. I mean, if you look at some of the teams that are in the Olympics, you're looking at there's 4 groups of 4 teams. France, the big names. France didn't bring any of their main squad. Argentina didn't neither. Germany didn't neither. The only ones that did bring some of their players from their A team was Brazil. They brought in a handful of players that played on their main squad. Spain actually brought in a lot of players that played in the Euros this past month, and they brought in their goalkeeper. They brought in Pedri, Simon, Dani Olmo. They brought in a lot of them, but it goes back to and I guess this is where we're getting at with Mexico also is, they're in a transition period. Spain is lost. They got rid of all their older players, the players that we all that won the national team, in 2010, that won the Euros before and all that. Those guys are gone. You don't have those guys anymore. So you're talking about the new age. So you see Spain have a lot of those guys that compete in the Euros, and Brazil brought in those that played in Copa America, and Mexico is bringing some of the ones that they've been playing with before. Obviously, they're not playing the Gold Cup because the Gold Cup's coinciding at the same time. But they did bring in some of their players that they have played in their main squad, like Guillermo Ochoa. He's their main goalie, but he's on the team. It's one of the overage players. Romo, Lainez, Antuna. They're bringing in guys, and that's fine because that's where Mexico is. They're in a time of transition where they're bringing in a lot of younger players. And it's going to be good to see, like what Danny was saying, good to see these teams go at it, because we're going to see, if their new age is good enough against some of the other bets. So, it's going to be interesting to see Brazil and Spain and Mexico go up against each other in this competition once they make it past the group stage. And don't be shocked, people, when you see France not make it and Germany not make it and Argentina not make it, because it's not those teams, But
why would they not bring the team?
well,
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. There's rules. So all the players have to be under 23. So
Okay.
all the players have to be under 23, and you're allowed 3 players that are over age
For the Olympics.
for the Olympics. Yes.
Yeah, for the
Okay.
Olympics.
So if you look at, like, for example, the German team, right?
Mhm.
The German national team, you know, their main squad is where is it? Their main squad, they have a lot of players that are older, you know, and so they don't really have um none of these young guys. And you got to remember, there's also, these teams have so much talent within their system in their country. Germany has so much, France has so much, Spain has so much, that they don't need to send out, you know, even the overage players on the German team are guys that don't play, that haven't even seen the field for the regular squad. So it's kind of crazy to see, you know, how much depth that these countries have.
I mean,
And so
it's kind of like it's kind you know like in other countries that well we have college football, and in other
yeah,
countries they don't have that. That doesn't
exactly.
exist.
That's a
That
great comparison.
it is a weird American thing. You know, essentially now that now you're getting paid, but essentially we're kind of exploiting students. I mean, they were, um, kind of like that where they don't really have that. They have their equivalent of college football is football, all right? This like which is their academies and stuff like that. But sometimes the best of the best of the best of the best people get the best of the best of the best products, right? The players, but
Yeah,
then they can only play certain players, and then the bottom tier ones or the bottom bottom half, they're still really 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 good. They just never get to play.
yeah,
So in this case, it's kind of like that, where like the teams are like our A, B, C, D squad. They're all damn good. You
yeah.
know, we just need to kind of mix that,
And
I guess.
yeah, and like, for example, I was talking about the German team. The German team that played in the Euros in the summer, they only have 2 players on that squad that played in the Euros that are under 23.
Wow.
So, you know, they can't take any of those guys, even if they wanted to put them on there, they can't. So none of those guys can play. And then the ones that were behind them, you know, kind of like the B squad, right? The ones that missed the cut to be on that Euro team, we only have 1, 2, 3 guys that are under 23. So you're talking about the main squad. You're talking about the guys that just missed being on the A squad. So you can call that the B team,
Yeah.
right? There's only in total 4 guys that are under 23. So now they have to look even further down. You know, they
Yeah.
look even further down to even younger guys that have never been in any of these squads, have never played in these competitions. But now these are the guys that hopefully they start
Will.
developing.
Mhm.
Yeah, they will later on. They start
Mhm.
developing now in the Olympics and stuff like that, so that in a couple of years, when some of the older guys they start retiring, they stop playing for the country, you start bringing up the B squad, and then these C guys go up to maybe making it on there. So, but that also goes exactly what Danny said. Comparing it to football, we have that debt and that depth in football, but we don't have it in the USA for soccer. You know, we don't have it to as deep as Germany at all. We barely can come up with a decent A squad, maybe a couple of backups, and that's where the USA is right now. But things are changing because they're starting to put more emphasis in the US for that. So
It's good.
hopefully, yeah, in the near future we can see more better results from the US men's team. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's good to see some of these young guys because even like Messi won 2 gold medals in the
Yeah, I
Olympics.
was gonna say like in these Olympics, specifically the Olympics,
Yeah,
not necessarily the World Cup or the Euros, because those are a little bit more like high prestige. But the Olympics is kind of where you see your Mbappe's, your your Nessi's, your Neymar's, your Cristiano Ronaldo's, 19, 20, 21 year olds. You're like, damn, dude, this kid's pretty good. But you don't hear about him a couple of years, and then later you're like, damn, where does he come from? Well, he was there. He won a gold medal. So, yeah, like the Olympics, specifically in soccer, I know they're like, it's like it's a lot of the European teams or European countries use them as like a huge development tournament.
Yeah, because even if you go back, even going back to like the 2012 Olympics, you're seeing some of these guys. Neymar played in there, Giovanni Dos Santos played in there. You see Hulk, you see Oscar, Pato, and these are all from Brazil, obviously. Aubameyang when he was young, Aaron Ramsey from Wales, because different countries make it. But a lot of these guys that were young, that didn't really play with the main squad, now they're fixtures. Now they're there. These guys are playing every single time, and that's 2012, 2016, same thing. You're looking at some of these players that were on there, and Marquinhos, Gnabry, Brandt. You're talking about, all these guys. Obviously, Neymar was again in there. Gabriel Jesus, and so it's nice to see new guys and names to know for the future. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice.
So I just read something because I was like, why is there a limit for the men but not a limit for the women?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go
But
ahead.
I just read something because I guess usually in a regular year, the World Cup and the Olympics, are they in the same year?
They should be 2 and 2. Yeah, because
Wait,
it's
what?
like,
What was the question?
Oh no, I was wondering. It's like, why are the men an age limit but the women aren't? And what I don't know, is the World Cup the same year as the Olympics? Or are they on two?
No,
they're on two intervals.
they're set. They're different. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
because
on the same.
they're on set. They're on play with the Winter Olympics.
The Winter Olympics. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it says it's to preserve the FIFA World Cup's status as the men's game premier event.
Yes, because
I guess they want everybody trading for that versus for this.
the thing is,
Pretty much.
the thing is also, and this is gonna sound bad, but as the years have gone on, the women's game hasn't been as established to where, before, yes, there's the Women's World Cup, there's the women's in the Olympics, but like there wasn't no and even now, and this is again what the US women's have been fighting for, is we know, like, for example, I know Tobin Heath and I don't remember the other one. They play for Manchester United, right? Alex Morgan was in Tottenham, right? These are big Premier League teams in England, but they never show those games here. We don't see those games. The women's game isn't as developed to where when the Premier League starts every Saturday, you're like, oh, I gotta see this game.
Yep.
Because the names are on every team and they're playing each other every week. I gotta see Messi versus Ronaldo when they were both in Spain. I have to see this team versus that team. And so, not that the women are not that good or don't have the talent, they're out there, but we don't know nobody else other than our women team. So for the U.S. women's fans, they don't necessarily know who plays in France, who plays in Great Britain, who plays in Canada or Brazil. We can name you Mexico. We can name you guys almost from every country.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, it's not a premier event as it is for the men's, because now you need to make sure that these women are there for the Olympics and for the World Cup, because then you won't get the viewers, because then you won't know who these people are.
Now, also you can argue that it's a good thing that the U.S. is kind of the leader in the women's soccer because we have the resources and we have the money to be able to do a little bit more exposure to where like, hey guys, this is a normal thing to do, you know, like so.
Well, I
you know
think
what I mean?
so.
I don't know.
I think you're right, but I think that's something. I think you make a great point, Danny. But that's something that the women's have been fighting because it hasn't been happening.
Yeah.
They're arguing, why don't we have as much exposure? Why don't we have our league out there? Why don't they televise our games? Why? And obviously it all leads to money. And why aren't we getting paid the same?
Yeah.
The women's are way more successful. They're probably you can argue that the women's are as successful as the men's Spain team or the men's Brazilian team.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, they are. You're talking about the best historical soccer teams for men's and women's. They're comparable. Brazil men's, their history, and the women's, U.S. women's, are on the same level.
Yeah.
But they don't make the same amount of money. They don't get the same exposure, and that's something they're fighting for. But then that also goes back to, that's why there's no age restriction for women. Because you need all of them there to make sure you have them watching. Because I cannot name you any other women that are in the college ranks and the lower levels that are coming up. If you were to get an under 23 women's team, I'm not gonna know anybody on there. And that's sad in a sense because that's on me for not knowing, but at the same time, I don't see any women's games. They don't show any women's games. Where do I go see their league? They don't show it.
Yeah, that is true. Because I actually wouldn't be able to tell you either. But
no, me neither.
That's actually that's actually good, Gabby. I didn't, I wouldn't think that it'd be like an actual, like a legitimate, not a legitimate reason, but like a reason as deep as that, as for like the age restriction. Because I knew about the age restriction, for men's or whatever. That's been. They went back and forth where it was like just 2 and then just 3 and then something like that, and then they didn't allow anyone, only amateurs, and it was just they keep going back and forth or whatever. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know all that. I learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because in reality the Olympics should be for amateurs, and that's something that I don't understand why why we let LeBron and KD play, because they're not amateurs.
Nope.
And I don't understand that neither.
They're over 23.
Yeah, because the U.S. has an under 23 team. They do.
Yeah.
The U.S. men's has an under 23 team, and they have an under 17 team.
Yeah.
Just like in soccer. I don't know why those guys are not the ones playing the Olympics. But again, it would have to be the same for everybody.
Yeah.
For all the countries. So I don't know. I think maybe there it's for the more exposure for the rest of the countries.
Yeah.
And not just the U.S.
Yeah.
And you can't just make a rule for the U.S. and not everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, you could. I mean, they should because we win too much. It was a handicap or something.
Apparently so.
I don't know. They don't care about FIBA, so fuck it. Have the best basketball players participate in the Olympics.
Yeah.
The best of the best.
Yeah.
Fuck age restrictions.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so also just kind of talking a little bit more Olympics. I know Thomas was mentioning also about Gabby, how you talked about if you win medals. Tosco, you weren't here for this, so just kind of get your take on that. So if you do win a medal, when in the field where not everyone is actually playing, that you really win a medal.
This year, where like a lot of people withdrew because of either COVID or whatever reason. You had a lot of people withdrawing. You have some whole countries that withdrew, but is it the same?
I mean,
and hold the same weight.
Yeah. I will say they will, because at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and you still got to do what you do, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're watching, like, for example, you can do the archery, maybe the, 2 of the better ones are not there, right? Because they withdrew, but you still got to make sure you hit the bullseye. You still got to make sure you're on and you're on 100% because
Someone's got
the guys behind you are not, they're not that far behind. I think that's why the Olympics is the best of the best. And sure, maybe the number one's not there, but that's not going to take away from you going out there and doing the best that you can. You can't take it lightly. Oh, the best team's not here. Oh, we got this for sure. No, because you can still go out there and lay an egg. And what are you going to say now?
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Phoenix Suns?
Well, man, I don't know about the Phoenix Suns. But what are you going to say? The opposite's going to be said of you if, the best wasn't here and you still didn't win. Like, now it's going to go the other way, and
you look even worse.
Yeah. So that's why I still think that it still holds the same weight. You still got to show up, still got to compete, still got to go all the way to whatever country, different time zone, wake up, still train, still make sure everything is perfect. You still got to go out there. You got to compete. So I think it still holds. It still holds because you still got to go out there and do what you got to do.
I think there will still be a supporting cast, people who sign your name, make sure your hotel's taken care of, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can't beat the winner of the winners, you don't want to be the loser of the losers.
Exactly. Or the loser of the winners.
Okay, you're the best of the worst.
Yeah.
Was it if you're not in first, you're in last?
Win.
Yeah, something
Exactly.
Like that.
I mean, and it sucks because, like, especially for the Olympics, it's like it only happens every 4 years, and you don't know if that person who withdrew will be back in the next one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Serena will probably not be competing in any more Olympics.
Exactly. There you go. So are the women's tennis players going to say, our gold doesn't count because Serena wasn't here? No, they still have to go out there and play all these matches and make it to the next round and make it to the next round. And I don't know if Serena's the number one ranked right now. I'm pretty sure she's up there. But, I mean, still, like, they're not going to say, my gold's worth less because Serena wasn't here. It's happened all the time.
I would, if I were the athlete, I wouldn't say that. But somebody else, a sports writer, might put an asterisk on my medal.
A sports writer that's never competed, he can go shove it.
I mean, and it's like it's kind of the same thing as a whole like NBA, the COVID, year or whatever. I don't know.
Think about it.
I hate LeBron. I hate LeBron. So for me, it is an asterisk.
Even in Tampa Bay, are you gonna say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Oh, you shouldn't enjoy your Super Bowl because all their linemen were hurt.
Yeah.
Like, your Super Bowl doesn't count because all their offensive line and Mahomes didn't have blocking. So your Super Bowl doesn't count. Like, you can't do that. It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're going with what you got, and if that Tampa Bay still needed to show up. Tampa Bay still needed to run their plays. They still needed to block. They still needed to catch. They still need to run, and they still needed to score. So
Kansas City, they didn't have Mahomes for that one pivotal game in the postseason. They had his backup. They still won.
Yeah, there you go. So
that makes the other team look like dumbasses.
Oh, you should have beat the Chiefs. They didn't have Mahomes. You suck. Whatever. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everything holds weight. It still should hold the same way.
Dang. So we're talking about if Liverpool's counted in 2020.
No.
Dang. That's pasado, dude.
No comment.
We could go on and on. It's one of those. You can have your cake, but you can't eat it. One of those kind of.
And I think even then, like this whole
pretty much good shit.
2-3 year period, where we have COVID and everything, pandemic going on. It's just gonna be one of those history book things. Like it just is, whether. I still think that you still need to compete. Whether I was like, like Tosco was saying, it's like kind of like football. You can't half compete in football. You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's just, it just sucks. I think that's literally my take. Life sucks, and we just kind of have to either do it or not. And sports, And sports is one. Okay. And sports is one of those. I mean, and like I said, it's selfish, right? Because I'm a super fan and I just want sports all the time, right? But you know, I want obviously everyone to be safe, but but I think even the COVID years, the Olympics, even the World Cup next year, we don't even know what's gonna happen. It just in general, I think it's just. I mean, it is. There's always gonna be that dude, but that was during those COVID times, right? It's like yeah, but like we had World War II. We had World War I, and we had the Olympics going on back then. Still, I mean, we stopped them, right?
We did our best.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
going back to that.
West Germany won a World Cup, dude. Like Hitler won a World Cup. Like that's kind of crazy to think about. Like like history. But this is one of those things. I don't know.
And like people say, oh, there should be an asterisk. No, there's not gonna be an asterisk, but under it, it's gonna say short. It'll say shortened season. It'll say COVID. And people will be like, oh, okay, oh, all right, they're not gonna make it a huge deal, but it's because that's the way it is. It's gonna be. There's whatever championships happened last year, they're gonna be with oh yeah, it was COVID. It was COVID year. And same thing with this year, whatever happened, oh, it was COVID. Even if things are back to normal. And going into what we're gonna talk about in the NFL, the thing that happened today, if the situation arises, and I guess we'll talk about it in a second to what they're saying, is your Super Bowl win not gonna count because you had 3 teams forfeit because of COVID?
Yeah.
So I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
So we'll go a segment right into that real quick. So we're just gonna do some gridiron news. We're gonna do NCAA and NFL updates. So we actually are gonna talk Texas football.
Oh, we could have a whole show talking about this.
Texas
OU.
Some of this. So I know we did need to talk about that, and just an update specifically on what Tosco was saying on for COVID. So I'll let you talk about that. Let us know what that entails, what the NFL decided.
Just basically what came out today is that because there's still a lot of players who are not vaccinated, and it's the things are coming up where some players are not vaccinated, and what's going to happen, especially now that the Delta variant of COVID is on the rise. COVID numbers are on the rise again. What's going to happen if, your team has a lot of players out, you have a COVID outbreak. And so they came out today that the NFL wants to maintain and play a full season and want to maintain order throughout the whole season. Doesn't matter about COVID. They want the same situation to occur where they want either to you play. If it's only a couple players, you can still play. If they need to reschedule from, a 12 o'clock game time to maybe a 7 o'clock, Sunday night or something, they'll do that. Maybe move it to a Monday, where there's Monday night games, they'll do that. They don't want to do Tuesday games. They don't want to do Wednesday games, which we had both of last year.
That was bad.
It was fun. It's football.
I mean, it was fun for
it was fun for us, but for them, I'm sure it sucked.
Oh, yeah.
But then it goes back to, I will give you a team that it affected a lot, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Steelers, game 3 or game 4, they were supposed to play the Tennessee Titans. The Titans had a COVID outbreak. So what team? The outbreak, and they can't reschedule it to the same day or Monday, they will forfeit, and they will be deemed to have a loss.
Forfeit,
okay?
Huh?
It'll be a forfeit, and it'll be a loss on their record. And they will give the other team a win.
Mm-hmm.
So
no coddling or rescheduling. It's a loss.
No, that's it. You can't play, you lose. The other team wins, move on, get ready for the next opponent.
Dang.
So that's going to have some big ramifications, especially if it's a division game, and then if it goes into a conference game. Because, now when you go into the playoffs, I have we have the same record, but I lost to you because of COVID. You're not going to the playoffs now. We are, you know. And what happens if this happens in the playoffs? Where Patrick Mahomes and all those guys.
If the
you know,
the Cowboys finally
The Cowboys are gonna win.
make it to the Super Bowl.
I don't care, bro. I'll take it. I don't give a shit.
Well,
I'll take it.
okay.
And
no,
take
no,
it
no.
with the asterisk.
Dude, okay, I was gonna say, would you take it with the asterisk?
Fuck yeah.
Again,
Mm-hmm.
it's called take it or leave it, and I'll take
Hey,
it.
if the Cowboys followed all the rules that were posted, they are all vaccinated, and they win the games they need to win and make it to the Super Bowl, then that's a Super Bowl win, homie.
Dang.
It is what it is. I guarantee you any team will take that.
Dang.
So, I mean, it's and players are coming out, oh my God, we're prisoners to the NFL. No, you're not. You're making millions of dollars. No, you're not a prisoner. Then go ahead and quit, retire, and go do something else. And you can go work your minimum wage job because you probably have no degree. Okay? So I don't understand where these players feel so entitled that, we're playing as prisoners. We're playing as it's like we're in jail. We're slaves. No, you're not. You don't like it? You can go ahead and go. Nobody's stopping you.
That's a lot of. They get paid a lot of money, dude.
That's good.
I know. I mean, and you have players that are like not good. Like you have players that are backups, that are role players, that are coming out saying stuff. If you don't like it, go. There's a million of you. There's a ton of you that we can sign. I mean, yeah, the stars of Mahomes, the Henrys, the Rodgers, yeah, those guys there's not a lot of. But the backup, second, third string running back, there's a lot of those. The backup lineman, the backup receiver, we have a lot of those. We can go get another one.
Yeah. Seriously.
And so, I mean, if these players don't like it, then don't play. Take the year off, retire. Okay? And you can go ahead and be happy. And not worry about anything.
And I think they have a threshold right now, right? Like you have to.
Yes, there's every team 85? Right now that has to be an 85%, not only team, but staff. All staff, coaches, training staff, anybody who's with the team, 85% have to be vaccinated. If they're not, they cannot continue.
Straight up?
And yeah, they cannot continue. So, but I think everybody met the 85% threshold or is meeting so far because not everybody has started training camp. I know the Cowboys started yesterday. But the thing is why is it 100? Like, I don't understand. I mean, and I get it. I know Cole Beasley has come out and have his, saying all this and this and that because, he's not going to get it, that he'd rather die, not necessarily not taking vaccines. And okay, then, and if you get cut, Cole Beasley, it's your own damn fault. Go be a farmer. That's what you are. Go be a farmer on your ranch and be happy.
Yeah, I mean, he got paid already. He already got paid, so he doesn't even care.
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys are getting paid millions of dollars.
Last year. Shit.
It's millionaires on the field.
There's millionaires on the field and they're complaining. I mean, it's a rule. Follow it. It's your job. If you don't like the rule, then go. You have a union. Your union let it happen. Go cry to them.
Yeah. I mean, I wish.
And then the thing is that they're thinking about themselves and this and that, and I get it. But remember, without no fans, there's no team. Yeah. And they're going to give the fans what they want. They're going to give them a full season. They're going to give them all the games, an extra game. They're going to give them what the fans want. So it is what it is. I mean, I get some of the gripes that maybe some of the players have, but you work. This is your profession. It's your job. You have to do it, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, then go do something else.
Makes you a professional.
Exactly. Yeah, that's literally
makes you a professional.
That's literally the definition of where you just literally just kind of do your job. I mean, I understand you have to speak out in certain times, but certain times you just don't, like, we can't all speak out at our jobs and be like, well, I don't know, man. I don't like the way you sent me an email. Like, okay, well, that's your fault. Figure it out. I'm not, but I'm also not getting paid $10 million a year. You know what I
True.
mean?
So
Yeah.
I know.
Just
we
give me
say it
one.
like
Just
that.
give me one. Just give me $1 million. It's okay.
So
Yeah.
Cool.
So in this
Yeah.
case, yeah. So yeah, go for it, Superfan.
No. That was the big news coming out of the NFL. We'll see, what ramifications this could have going forward with players still boycotting the vaccine or not. So yeah, we'll see what transpires and all the camps happening. Right now, you said the Cowboys. I think they'll be on Hard Knocks soon enough. So be watching for that on HBO.
Oh yeah.
I guess did you
Please
want
sponsor
to?
us.
Austin FC lost. Just on this as a side note,
Oh,
that's
no.
all right. They'll bounce. It was 1-0.
Were
They'll
they
bounce
the
back
team?
next time.
Was that the team in green?
The team in green won, and the team in green lost.
Boom, got him. Damn. The counterpoint.
Yeah. So, did you want to talk about the college
Yeah.
or the Gold Cup?
Yeah, we'll talk
Okay.
talk about the college. So, actually, you know what? I'll let Superfan Art go ahead and
All
start
right.
that.
As you can clearly see,
your alma mater.
you can clearly see behind me. For those on the show, you can see I got the flag of Texas, but rearranged with the University of Texas. Got the burnt orange. I got the horns up here. So, a big rumor that has been circulating and it's come to fruition is that the University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma both have reached out to try to join in on the Southeastern Conference, the SEC, pretty much where all the big name schools are currently playing football here in the south of the country. The Alabamas and LSU's of the world. So I guess there was an emergency meeting or whatever of the top brass of the Big 12 making contingencies like if we lose Texas and OU, that's pretty much 75% of like our revenue stream. Like we need to probably look into
Done.
getting new teams.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, A&M is being all sour and shit because they wanted to be the only Texas team in the SEC, and now they got to share a piece of that pie with their rivals, Texas. So it's a whole big thing. It's kind of echoing what we had a few weeks back with the whole Super League with the European soccer teams. Now it's Super League potential with SEC, the disbandment of the Big 12 or how they're going to try to survive and see what happens going forward with this. I, for one, really I wouldn't want them to go to SEC because I think we were talking about earlier that they'll probably lose more games. They'll have a better shot at winning more, obviously with the Big 12. And but having to travel over there, too many out of state games for sure. But you can't deny with money. This is pretty much the money is what's currently driving all these rumors and such that it could be true. So we'll get everyone's take on this.
I
yeah,
was going to
go.
say, do you think it has anything to do with the endorsements? The kids want the bigger endorsements. They're going to want to go to where they're going to play the most on TV. It's going to be against these SEC teams.
There'll probably be
And
more
so,
coverage,
in
more
order for
exposure,
Texas
especially
and
with
Oklahoma,
scouts.
yeah, to be competitive, to recruit, they're going to want the big
bucks, yeah. Obviously, TV viewership. I think some of the analysts earlier were like, "Would you rather watch like Texas TCU in the afternoon, or like see Texas versus Georgia like 7 p.m. prime time?" Well, no shit, you're gonna watch that bigger matchup. So
yeah.
bigger matchups, more viewership go up, more exposure for the players, scouting wise. I think maybe a lot of Texas high school prospects are kind of being drawn into the whole SEC's the top dog. I need to try to get in one. They'll probably want to get into Missouri rather than get into like TCU because, well, fuck it, it's the SEC. At least I'll be noticed. So a whole bunch of pros and cons on this. Coach Losco, I know you're gonna erupt if you don't say something. Go for it.
Well,
Unload on it. What you got?
I want to mention something what Gabby said about the endorsements. Sure, you're right. And would you rather see Texas TCU or Texas Georgia? Sure, but that also means that you're playing bigger, faster, stronger players. So just because, oh, I'm on TV now, I'm playing Georgia. Yeah, what if you get demolished and you get embarrassed? You really think you're going to keep on getting those endorsements? When they don't want the guy that loses, they want the guy that's winning.
True.
That's a thing that they haven't thought of yet. Oh, we're going to the big leagues. Yeah, the big leagues. Are you going to play Alabama? You're going to play LSU. You're going to play Georgia. You're going to play Florida. You're playing the Auburn. You're playing the best of the best that almost the country has to offer, because and that's what they've been saying for the last 5 years, and that's why this is another reason why they want to change the playoff system from 4 teams to more, because for the last however many years they've had the playoffs. Alabama's always in it, Georgia's always in it, LSU's always in it, Notre Dame's always in it, Clemson's always in it. Those are the 4 or 5 teams because they get the best players every year. Those teams have the most 5-star recruits.
Yeah.
Their teams are literally men playing against boys because they have the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. Those all go there. Yeah, you have a couple that might end up in Texas. You have a couple that end up in Oklahoma. A couple that end up at USC and Oregon. But for the majority of them, end up in Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame. Those are the 4 main teams that get the most kids. LSU comes in 5th. So
and Georgia's up there too.
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
Yeah, no, they are. And so Texas and OU leave to the SEC. They're not going to the division that doesn't have Alabama, LSU, Auburn. They're going to go to the division where A&M is. And they're going in with Alabama, Auburn, Georgia. No, Georgia's in the other one. Alabama, Auburn, LSU, A&M. No, Kentucky's in the other one. Mississippi State, and it would be them. Texas and OU.
Yeah, the western part of it.
What if they don't? What if they put them on the other side?
Okay, so
it's about geography, Danny.
And if they put them on the other side, they're going to have to go against Georgia. They're going to have to go against Florida. You have Kentucky, Missouri. What else am I missing? Kentucky, Missouri.
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
South Carolina?
No, South Carolina's not in the SEC.
Really? The Gamecocks?
The Gamecocks? Oh, no, they are. No? Are they?
Yes.
It's a toss-up.
Are they? SEC? No, they are. They are. South Carolina, you're right. South Carolina.
I was like, oh, yes. My God, am I freaking out? Because I'm pretty sure I saw them for the last,
Yeah. South Carolina's
and
under.
Tennessee.
Yeah,
Missouri. Yeah, well, if they go in the other one, then they have to go up against Georgia and Florida, and those are going to be, now that would benefit them, but they still have to play teams from the other conference, from the other division. They just won't play them every year. Now, it doesn't, at the end of the year, they still have to play the SEC championship. They're still going to play either Alabama, whatever it is. The SEC is a very, very tough conference. I do not see it as a benefit for the program if Texas and Oklahoma go. And honestly, I feel, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Texas fan, but I feel that Oklahoma will handle it much better than Texas.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds. And I it's sad to say, but it's true. And I feel that, especially the way the teams are constructed, UT got their new coach, Sarkisian. That's going to be more of a finesse offense. And Oklahoma still does ground and pound.
Yeah. They're very
physical.
12.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea, but I know that the Big 12, they did meet, like Arturo said, the emergency meeting, and they already been talking about, they're already aggressively trying to talk to schools to come in. They're talking to Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, Cincinnati, Central Florida, South Florida, BYU, and Boise State.
Ooh,
Evan's alma
Boise.
mater, UCF.
Sure.
Ish.
So, and another two that they're talking about is Houston, the University of Houston, and SMU to also be going in there. But Baylor and Texas Tech don't want more Texas teams in that Big 12.
Oh wow.
So
They're just jealous.
Egotistical.
I think it is. They were like, no, the reason why we left is because we wanted to have our own identity. Okay, you're still losing, so
I don't know. I mean,
I think I don't know. I liked rivalries, dude. I'm a big competitor. I think that but I like conference rivalries though. Big, it's like the Big Five, and then only four can make. I mean, not four can make it in. Now it's like college playoffs are bigger now, or whatever, right? But I kind of like that. Like the Big 12 has his own identity. The Pac-12, they have their own kind of identity. I mean, obviously you have to change, right? And there's not even 12 teams in the Big 12 anyway. But
and the Big 10 had like 14 teams.
Yeah,
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I think it will happen, and only because of money, unfortunately, because you know how that works. I think it has been in the works for a while now. It is just something, we just we're kind of getting the end of it. We're like it's actually happening. That's why you have the Big 12 all going crazy and trying to doing all this stuff. And you see A&M, kind of like whatever, because it might actually happen,
During the last realignment, which was 6 years ago when A&M left and Missouri left and all that.
Yeah, Missouri left, yeah.
And
Nebraska.
Colorado, Nebraska, they all left.
TCU came in.
And UT and Oklahoma,
West Virginia,
and Oklahoma State. Yeah, they were all going to leave too. They were going to leave to go to the Pac-12. They were going to eat to the West Coast. But then at the last minute, they were able to get West Virginia, TCU, and they came in.
Yeah.
And they were able to okay, we'll stay. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's been in the works for years where they say, you know what, it's time to move on. So, we'll see how it goes. But I honestly, I think if the program is talking about winning and being a winning program,
at least win the Big 12.
I'm not going to want to go to a university. If I'm a 5-star recruit, I'm not going to want to go to a university where the team is always in the middle of the road. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Texas and Oklahoma are going to be at the bottom. They're going to suck. No. I just don't think they're going to be at the top. They're not going to be.
They're going to be an 8-8 team, like a 500 team.
They're going to be a 500 team, or even remember in college football, you can only lose one, maybe 2 games. I think they're going to lose 2 games, 3 games, 4 games every year, and it's going to be tough, because look at A&M. I mean, A&M, since they've been there, they've had a couple of good years. When they had Johnny Manziel, say what you want about the guy, but
they beat Alabama,
when he was there,
whatever.
Yeah, they beat Alabama, whatever it was, cool. They had that year. What did Johnny Manziel do? Nah. They didn't even make it. They made it, I think, to the Chick-fil-A Bowl. That's where they ended up. That's not even
on a Sunday. They couldn't.
Yeah, that's not even one of the main 6. Yeah, those are not even that. Whatever. That's not. They didn't make it to play. Then, whatever, they had a couple of decent years, I guess, not doing anything. And now this year, they had a really good year. They lost 1 game. They made it to the play. Why? Because other bigger SEC teams made it in.
Now, real quick, I know we haven't talked specifically. I know Thomas is actually talking about the Alabama QB. How now he's getting over $1 million in endorsements now. Already. So it's like, what do we think of that? I mean, like I said last time, someone else was making that money. So I'd rather him get that, because just get him his money or whatever. You know,
Well,
It's going to be a Pandora's box. Is
it,
that people are going to be like, what the fuck is my money?
yeah.
Like, where the linemen getting their money? They don't get those endorsements. It's going to be the same shit. Running backs and receivers and quarterbacks get all the moolah. None for that kicker, though.
yeah, but you can also argue that linemen get drafted. There's chances of linemen that get drafted or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe, but okay. So let's not even go that route yet. Like, let's not even talk about that. Think about it like this: how is that quarterback gonna be acting in the locker room
Oh yeah.
when he's coming in? He's making $1 million. Like, he's gonna come in with
He's
brand new shoes,
21,
chains.
21, 20. He's not even 20. He's not even 21 years old.
Yeah. So he doesn't know how to handle money. He's gonna come in with chains. He's gonna come in with new clothes, new shoes. He's gonna do this and that and da 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 da. You know, some of these guys are gonna be hanging out with celebrities, or celebrities are gonna try and become friends with them. You know, and what's that gonna do to the quarterback for a Nick Saban team,
Yeah.
for Alabama? How's that gonna affect the locker room when he thinks he's better than everybody else because he's getting $1 million scholarships? Nobody else has anywhere near close.
And then you'll have kids, like, because you know how kids are. We've been kids. Hey, bro, how much you getting? Like, oh, how much you getting? Like, oh, shit. Like, why are you getting that?
Yeah.
You know.
A measuring contest.
I mean,
then
it's because a college is just a bigger high school. I mean, if you think
So
about
what's gonna happen? So what's gonna happen when, let's say, like this, the number one receiver on any town, UT, is getting $100,000 in sponsorships, right? In money. And what about if the backup receiver, the number 2 or the number 3, is making $500,000 because that guy has connections with somebody and doing this or whatever? And you know, now the number one receiver is like, every week I come in, I get 10 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. How am I not making more money than him? He barely even plays.
Yeah.
Egos will start to arise.
It's money. It's money. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah. And then he sees that guy coming in a brand new truck and a brand new car with brand new shoes. And over here, he's like, not that he doesn't have money to do it, but, you know, what if he can't because he doesn't make as much as that guy? Yeah. That guy's on videos. He's getting whatever on TV. What about me? I'm the main receiver. I'm the star receiver. I'm the one that's tearing it up. Why am I not there? Now tensions are going to start.
Yeah. I mean,
and it may not be necessarily that situation. It may not happen to everybody, but I think there has to be rules. And so far, there's none.
Regulate.
What do you think, Gabby? How would you kind of do it? Like, 'cause I mean,
is it going in a bad direction, or what kind of direction you think it's going towards?
Yeah, just like the goods and the bad things about it, you know, because these kids, like Tosco was saying, I mean, they can't even drink, and they're like starting to get a whole bunch of money, you know. So, you know, I don't have a whole bunch of money, and I don't even know how I would be able to handle that. I mean, you know, figure it out, right? But you know, what do you think?
I don't know. I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of these guys be like the influencer types, trying to get their names, their videos out there. Everybody's going to be having their own Twitch. Everyone's going to be having all their TikTok stuff. Everyone's going to want to get their face out as much as possible, try to get as much money as possible. Mm-hmm. That's how your second string receiver is going to get more money than your first string.
Because he's more popular. Doesn't matter how good he is on the field, he's more popular.
Exactly.
So he gets more endorsements because of that.
Exactly. But he's the one that does all the dances. He's the one that does all the trends. And the number one guy is not worried about that because he's worried about getting better on the field. So he's not getting all those endorsements and all the love and all the fans and all the money. They're going to the backup guy because that guy's on TikTok doing the dances and coming out with celebrities doing this, doing that, and he's getting popular. How's that going to affect the locker room?
Now, okay, right, he's getting a lot of money, he's back up, but he doesn't make it to the NFL. The number one receiver does. So who wins? right?
No, you're right. But that's a process. That's a long con. You're talking about the long game.
Yeah,
That's the marathon.
yeah,
But in a college football season, you're talking about the sprint.
These
Yeah.
kids only care about the then.
yeah, yeah, and that's true.
They don't
and
care
even,
about later.
And even then, like even me, putting myself in that position, I can totally be like, yeah, dude, but you're gonna be earning millions, like potentially, bro. If I don't break my leg or something,
Exactly. You don't even know that. You're right. The star guy may be a top 10 pick. Tears his Achilles. Now what? He might not make those millions. He might still get drafted in the 5th round, in the 6th round. That's not millions.
Yeah,
Gonna be some
so
rat racing.
So, all right,
happening.
guys, and we can continue on, and we'll talk a little bit more
Yeah.
about the Texas
Point-
OU.
In a nutshell, college football landscape is evolving in a
Yeah.
very weird and
Highly
fast
rapid.
way.
Fast.
And
Very fast.
Very quick.
We would have to let a whole season happen to see what's going to happen in the next seasons.
It'll take.
Honestly, I think there's going to be burnouts. I think there's going to be guys who get that $70,000 paycheck and do the wrong thing.
yeah, it's
They're not
exactly.
hungry anymore.
Yeah, like I
No,
think it's like exactly. We're like, you're not gonna hear those stories where like, no, this guy slept in his car and I was in practice and stuff like that. Which you could argue both ways, which is a good thing. Obviously I don't want to live in my car or whatever, but it does build character. Where like now it's just gonna be, like. When are we gonna see NASCAR on like football jerseys type of stuff? You know what I mean? Like at some point.
Well, that's
Endorsements.
so not only that, so now what's gonna happen when the guy's sponsored by Oreo cookies, and now he scores a touchdown and he lifts up his jersey and Oreo or whatever, or he's eating Oreos on the sideline, or we want you to do a dance, and now
He goes to his classes wearing Oreo apparel.
Yeah, like when
Can't
is
leave your
this-
dorm room unless there's
what is
Oreos
the
there.
level of this is too far? And I
Yeah.
guess and Evan makes a great point. We need a season to go by, let the shenanigans happen, and then from there be okay. Now we know what happened, what everybody was doing. Let's cut it out here. Let's make these rules. They can still get paid, but there has to be some regulation.
Mhm.
And when it comes to the actual participation in the sport, because that and you're gonna see like Evan said, the guys that burn out, the guys that don't spend the money right are gonna spend it out drinking, partying, with
Yeah.
drugs. That's gonna happen for sure.
Kicked out of college.
Kicked out of college for
It's
drugs, for fighting, for guns, because now they have money to do all that.
Yeah, they were gonna have that money, like in like 2-3 years, but now they have it earlier. If you think
Yeah.
about it, like
In college.
in college,
In college.
away from your
College, bro.
parents. You just graduated high school, like dude.
Think of all the dumb shit. Think of all the dumb shit we did in college, and now think about it as a millionaire.
No,
Oh,
We
there we
wouldn't have
go.
made it out.
Oh,
We wouldn't have made it out. We wouldn't have
No.
made it out.
dang, that's kind of scary. And then kind of going along the other way, like I don't know, me thinking as my job, right? You also have your agents and your family members are gonna take advantage of it, where you're like, oh,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna siphon money off my kid.
Family and
know?
friends are gonna be leeching.
It's called
Yeah.
synergy, but not.
Yeah.
So
And one last thing there, and now here comes so it's like everything, and I think it goes back to what I would say. We need a year to see, because that's the bad, but now the leeching and the mooching, but now here's the good part. Some players, once their sophomore season finished, they leave to NFL. They might not be, they might not have the greatest, 2 years in college, but they leave. Why? Because they need to make money for their family.
yeah,
Right now, if they make money off endorsements, they don't necessarily need to leave. Now they can stay another year, another 2 years, and now they can
School.
develop their game more. So that's one of the good things we're going to start seeing, hopefully.
Oh wow, okay,
is
yeah.
More
More
players.
4-year players.
And more in
4-year
football,
players.
and more in football, because football matters a lot.
Yeah. And more 3-year, 4-year players, to where we can see them developing, and not necessarily, we draft this guy, but we have to teach him. We have to see what he does. No, now you're going to draft a guy that has been there 4 years. You know what he has. You know what he turned into. Now you don't have to wait and see. Now it's like, we know, so, and that's a benefit that we have. And so, that's another thing. So again, it's going to take a year, maybe two, before we figure out exactly how the endorsements and all that money they're making is going to either benefit or hurt the players and college football.
Yeah.
I guess.
So episode 400, we'll come back to that.
Episode.
We'll circle back.
Hopefully we'll be on the network by then. So
yeah, it's
and then
Forte Sportz Network.
But Thomas Two Guns was saying, like, should these guys even be offered scholarships if they're getting even more money on the side?
And that's what I was talking. I was talking to actually one of my coworkers, actually my boss, about it, and I completely understand about the whole scholarship thing, but there's people that have money to go to school and they still apply for scholarships and they still get that scholarship money.
Yeah, that's true.
There's people that are really rich and have a lot of money, but they still apply for those scholarships and they still do get them based on merit. So it kind of sucks, but some scholarships are based on merit. Oh, well, that guy has more money than him, so tough shit,
Their money or their parents' money?
Correct.
Oh, their parents' money.
And I mean, you could argue with that. Oh, well, it's the same thing. Like, well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, or whatever. You don't know the situation.
But now maybe there can be some, and I think now thinking about it, that's something that the NCAA could have used as a good defense to not paying the people, but whatever, they're a bunch of idiots anyways.
They're going to learn in a few years.
But they can be some rules and some regulations to where, okay, if you're a football player, any athlete, right, that is receiving endorsement money, right, and you're here only because of your athletic ability, right, and your scores, or now you can go based off of grades. Grades are a C, you're barely a passing player. You have to play for your scholarship. If you're because like all the kids, but see, now we go into certain colleges because the kids at Stanford, not only do you can get a scholarship to go to Stanford and play football, but you also have to have a 4.0 average or a 3.9 average. You can't just be a dummy and go to Stanford. They won't allow you.
Boston College.
You can be the best football recruit ever from high school, and Stanford will not take you if you don't have a 3-point-something average or above. Damn. So, now we're talking about something like that. So, but I think there can be some rules and regulations something based on that where they can come back and say, hey, you know what? You're making a lot of endorsement money. You don't give a shit about your grades. You have to pay for school.
Yeah. I mean, it
sounds fair.
It sounds fair, but life is not fair. So I hope they kind of get that part right. And I just hope that we were, like you're saying, we're kids, we're young ones. It's gonna be hard, for me to.
I mean, they're gonna be like, well, that scholarship money could go to like students that are more deserving. Yeah, but the athletic department is generating a shit ton of money for the university as a whole. Yeah. So I mean, we got to take the good with the bad here.
Yeah. It's a slippery slope, man. But
like Craig KV said, we gotta wait a year. After that year, we'll know a little bit more. We'll kind of get an idea, and I feel like they'll start getting a little bit more regulated after that.
And I think, and maybe another thing is maybe regulating, but then again, it's like, I guess maybe regulating how much an endorsement deal can be. Yeah. Not like the guy can make millions. Like he can make millions, but it's gonna have to be with 20 different companies. Like each company can only give 50K.
I can see that.
Or 100K.
20K.
And there's no cap. So if you want to be endorsed by 20 different companies and each give you the highest amount, let's say it's 100K, well then you need 10 different companies to endorse you to make a million. Not just one company giving you $1 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. I can see that. That
So-
can that would kind of
Strong
work a
arming.
little bit better.
Yeah, because then you're gonna see kids that, oh, I have to do endorsements for 10 different companies. Oh, I'm not gonna want to do that,
Yeah,
right? And then so now they're gonna say, okay, well, I'm not gonna go that many. I'll just stick to 2 or 3 or whatever. So, or maybe, you know, oh, you can only get an endorsement from one kind of like for the, like Nike. You can only get an endorsement deal from Nike. You can't get it from
like
Adidas,
several like the industry or
Reebok.
whatever.
Yeah. You know, oh, you got an endorsement deal from
AT&T, you can't do Verizon or whatever.
exactly.
Or
something like
Netflix,
that.
you can't do Hulu or whatever.
Yeah,
Pizza Hut,
exactly.
you can't do Domino's.
Exactly.
Mezzo Forte, Mezzo
So
Forte,
one
And
way or
on
the
and on and
industry.
on.
Mezzo
It's
Forte
true.
Sports, you can't do ESPN.
Yeah, essentially.
You
Uh,
can't do Fox
Relay.
Sports. You
we
do,
can't afford a player yet
We're gonna do it, Gabby.
The-
That's our goal. Our goal is
to
to
sponsor a kicker
sponsor-
from UTSA. And at the very, very bottom of his cleat is written Mezzo Forte Sportz.
be like
Very bottom.
with like
When it's not covered in butt.
with Tosco's face is going like yes. All right, guys. Well, we can continue talking about this for years
Yeah.
upon years, but
Well, like Evan said, we'll see how it goes in a year's time with this whole money market thing. It's
exactly.
Moneyball out there.
So we'll start wrapping it up for today. But again, we'll talk more Olympics, and definitely we'll talk more Texas and OU as the week continues on, and we get a little bit more development on that.
Yeah. USA CONCACAF Sunday versus Jamaica,
That's right.
Yes.
and Mexico Honduras
Mexico.
Saturday evening.
Yes.
Quarterfinals for that. I know we didn't touch base with quarterfinals.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
it
those
all.
We'll
next
talk
week.
about the winners of that on Tuesday.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that, guys. We'll start
Gymnastics.
wrapping it up. Go for it, crack AV. Give me some tunes. All right,
Drop
guys.
a beat.
So that's gonna be it for this week's episode, guys. Thanks so much for today. Hope y'all can chill with us next time as well. Today we did have Coach Tosco, Gabby, Gold, Crack AV, of course, Superfan Art in the mix. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, Twitch, as well as our Apple podcast coming soon. Want to thank out to all our sponsors today. Music and graphics provided by Studio 13th Day. This is Danny BMD signing off, saying later to all. Taking home Arturo.
Thank you, Dan. The lesson of the day is sports are about choices. Tampa Bay Rays don't think they can lose with Nelson Cruz, and in college conferences, Texas and OU want their right to choose. Remember, sports are great, but mean nothing without you, all the fans. This is episode 50!
50!
The next time, folks, be cool, stay safe, and keep on listening to the Mezzo Forte Sportz.